Man, look. Oh, a toy. Man. Bring it here, low. Man, no. I'm not gonna go chase it. Grab it from you. Oh, hey, what's up, Jenny? The classic Jenny peace sign. What's that logo thing? I always notice that. It's like the blue circle. What is that? My dogs. Oh, what's up, Blurple? I was noticing they don't like to play amongst each other. They always look to me to play. And especially Minnie, she like always looks at me as she stares at me for direction. Like what to do. Like, what are we doing now? She's like, right now, she's just staring at. She'll just stare at me forever until I give her some kind of direction. Like, okay, now we're gonna play, or now we're gonna do this. So she, like I said, she's extremely passive. What's up, Mitch Lovin? Dogs for sure. Cats are nuts. I know you're a dog guy. Evil Eye. That's what that thing is. Okay, I thought it was evil. It'd be more like a red. Oh, just chilling, man. So if you're coming in, there's 3 people in here. You gotta let us know. Mitch Lovin already let us know. What is it? Cats or dogs? Who's smarter and who's overall better? I really want to know what people think about smarter, though. Like, are cats actually smarter? I don't know. They're more wild, that's for sure. They're not really fully domesticated. I mean, they would survive. If humans vanish off the face of the planet, cats would survive. I mean, most of them would if they're still young. Dogs would survive too, just depends on the breed. Like my dogs would not survive. They'd be dead within a week, or like a week, man, because they'd probably be prey. They're just sitting ducks. They don't have any defense. These designer dogs don't have any defense mechanism. You know what I mean? They're not really all that fast. They're not like Loaf might be able to, take care of himself a little bit, but like Minnie, dude, she's sitting duck. She's just, there's nothing in her. She's got the heart, you know what I mean? And she fights. She's not a pushover, I tell you that, but I don't think she survived that long. Cats, though, survive. I mean, Sweet Tea's cat, Boomy, the tiger one, dude, that cat. So when we had Loaf and Minnie over there, we had the dog door, and like he was so interested in going outside, but he'd never been outside his whole life in like a year. And so he was so freaked out, but he finally ventured out, dude. And like after he was out there, he's an outdoor cat. Like if you don't let him go outside now, he like whines and meows all day. But he like hunts, dude. He's a hunter. Like I said, cats are like wild animals. Do they bring you mice and stuff? Dude, he brings in mice, birds, live birds. They're like pets. They're like toys. He brings in live birds. Are flying around the house, dude. He's brought in I don't know how many snakes, and I can't stand snakes, dude. But I like Loaf was. I came home one day and Loaf was like kept checking underneath the rug, dude. I thought it was kind of messed up, because the rug gets messed up from the dogs running around and stuff. And he kept like checking out the rug, and I'm like, "What are you doing in there, man?" I pulled the rug out as a snake under there, dude. I like freaked out, man. I jumped up on this like cupboard thing, not a cupboard, but like this side like half wall that she has. I just stood up there for like 3 minutes, dude. I was like, oh my God. I knew snake wasn't like gonna attack me or poison. It was just a little like garter snake or something. But I don't, they creep me out, dude. I don't like snakes. But yeah, we've had like, I don't know how many snakes in the house, how many mice in the house, how many birds in the house. Like, so Boomy would be cool, man. He'd be able to, it might get kind of cold in the winter though. They might die from it. I'm gonna have to figure something out. So cats are definitely smarter and crazier. I don't know about if I agree with either of those, but some people say cats are smarter. Because I don't know, why do you say cats are smarter? Like you can't train a cat, like they don't learn tricks or anything. That's a sign of intelligence. But some people say, well, because they're not emotionally dependent, right? So maybe they're more emotionally intelligent. I don't know about like IQ intelligence though. There's really no way to like test for that kind of stuff to see which is smarter. But it's thought that dogs are about the intelligence of a 2-year-old, but it depends. Like border collies, which are the smartest of all dogs, are thought to have the intelligence of a 4-year-old, which is really, really smart. So I don't know if it's a 4-year-old. Maybe it's like a 3-year-old. Because like 4-year-olds, really, it's 4-year-olds like dolphins. Dolphins have the intelligence of like a 4-year-old, really smart. But dogs are like 2 years old. If you think about it, I talked to a little 2-year-old toddler. I mean, they're pretty smart. But some people think cats are smarter because they're emotionally intelligent. They're not emotionally dependent on you. Like they could care. I mean, they like you, but they could really care less if you're here or there. Like my dogs, they're emotionally dependent on me. Like I said, Minnie just sits there and stares at me forever, like for direction on what we should do. And they get the little waggy tail thing when you come home, and they freaking out. Cats are just like, eh. Cats will eat you when you die, right? A cat will they'll munch on you right away, dude. They'll chew your face off. And that's what people say. I remember watching some interview guy of like fireman or some guy that is dealt with that. A lot of people, if you die alone with your cat, like if you're an old lady, their faces are eaten off. You know what I mean? Dogs will eat you, but they'll hold out though. Like they'll wait till like they're starving and then they'll eat you. The cats, dude, like by the end of the day, dude, they're seriously just munching on you, bro. So like, do cats actually really love you though? Like, I'm sure they, are capable of some complex emotions like love, but I'm sure they are, but like, I don't think they love you as much as like a dog loves you. You know what I mean? Like I say, dogs are loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. So I don't know if they're smarter though, but because the research I did, and it was years ago, but I read some article on it, said something about like nerve ending or something like that, or nerve brain cells. I don't remember how they tested it, but it was thought that dogs would be smarter because of whatever I read. But I mean, if you could Google that, and like for every study that says that dogs are smarter, there's another study that says that cats are smarter, and there's a bunch saying it's inconclusive. So like you don't really know. They're too similar. If one's smarter than the other, it's like very close. Like you're not gonna really notice. I just know my dogs are smart because I just taught him a bunch of new tricks. Loaf knows a new trick. He knows roll over now. Minnie already knew. Minnie's actually smarter than Loaf in certain aspects. Like she's more trainable. I think Loaf's just stubborn. Yo, what's up, Tony? So Tony, you gotta let us know, Brand. Cats or dogs? Who's smarter and who's better? Check out my video of my cat attacking a snake in the backyard. Sure. Is it on your channel? Let's see. How do I find it? Do I just look up Jenny or what? What's your YouTube channel? I'll play it right now for everyone. My dog is also smart, but different from cats. Okay, so you're a dog and a cat person? Got you. Yes? Okay, let me see if I can find you then. If I just type in Jenny. I don't know if I'm subscribed to you or not, so let me see. Oh, hold on, let me put it on this so everyone can see what we're doing here. Oh, wait, I got to share screen and all that. Okay, should be good. Yes. Jenny. Oh, wait. Oh, this is not Google. What the heck is going on here? Let me sure. Sorry, guys. Share screen, new tab. Okay. YouTube. Jenny. Yes, I don't know. This Jenny has a check mark. If I'm gonna find you like this. How many subscribers do you have? Hold on. Oh, sorry, my bad. Wrong thing. Misfit Mayhem. Okay, cool. Hold on, is it Miss like MS? Yeah, MS. I remember you were like the Misfit. So you're like into fitness and stuff like that. See if that works. Oh, look, there she is. All right, I guess I better subscribe. Subscribed. All right, let's check her out. So, is this it? Cat versus snake, guys. All right, hold on. Let me make sure I got it on here right. This is gonna be funny. Yeah, see there, he's just playing with them. Cool, you got that music. Yeah, see, that's what they do. They're toys. They just play with them. You got that music. Was that echoing really bad or not? Yeah, that's what the cats do. They play with them. It's like their toy. That's like how Boomy is too. Like they just mess with them. I kind of feel bad for him, like I felt bad for that snake. Okay, the next video is my other cat playing with the security camera. Okay, let's check it. Let me make sure. Hold on, let me put it on this. Okay. Hold on, let me take this comment off. Okay, curious cat. Okay, here we go, guys. Also, you got a black cat. Black and a white cat. So you got two cats. You have a couple of Cop Watch videos. I didn't know that. I mean, you do have 200 subscribers, so let's check it out. Let's see what you're working with here. Okay, so Jenny's got some Cop Watching videos. Oh, those are lives. Let's see, I just want to check you. I want to check you out. Botanical Gardens, Cop Watch Sydney, streamed 4 months ago. Let's see what you got on the main videos. Oh, here's the Cop Watch. Which one should I watch? Hold on, let me go over here. Which one should I watch? The short Cop Watch is better than the live. Okay. Yo, what's up, Peace? Peace Dynamo. Good to see you. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here. Okay. The short Cop Watch is better than the live. Okay, let's go check out the short. So you got this Cop Watch one, and then you got a live Cop Watch, and you got a short Cop Watch. Okay, let's watch it.
No clue.
Dang, that guy's going crazy, dude. I wonder what happened with him. See, now if I was doing this, I don't know, not everyone's me. It's just like, I just feel like, look, there's other people over there.
No clue.
He's being funny, dude. He's not trying to be funny, but he is funny because he's like hollering like a crazy. But did they give you a hard time over there in Australia if you get close? They had the guy's pants around his ankles. What? Hold on, let's rewatch this. I didn't know. It's dark. I can't see. Hold on. He had his pants around his ankles.
No clue.
Oh, they are. Look, his pants are around his ankles. Dude. What a bunch of kind of loser cops, though, dude. Like, you know what? Like, have some. I don't know what happened to the guy, but like, I figure before I like haul the guy out, he's already in handcuffs, right? There's that many officers there. I feel like before I like, bring him out in front of all those people and the camera and everything, like I would pull his pants up for him, man. They couldn't just pull his pants up for the guy, dude. Like, come on, man. It's not cool. Yeah, the police lights are bright, but like not paying attention or like looking for that, I wouldn't notice in the dark. But now that she said that, you can definitely see his pants they're literally like around his ankles, dude. Play the other short of the guy that was falsely arrested back in the 80s. Okay, hold on. Let's check it. Oh, this guy? Okay.
Speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this?
Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there.
Well, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta! And farewell.
So I guess getting in the car.
One cup, look. Speak.
Jack Carlson. Who's that guy? Is he famous? Mr. Democracy Manifest. He's an Australian famous guy. He's pretty funny. I would love to see like an American, like I would love to see him like getting arrested in the United States talking like that. That'd be hilarious, dude. Oh, that video made him famous? Okay. I never heard of him before. Is he famous in Australia then? Or is he famous in the United States too? And I just don't know. Are you smarter than a cat, Lo? It's funny because when like Loaf and well, is it Loaf? Yeah, it's Loaf too. Loaf and Minnie both. Like when we go to Sweetie's house, they both get jealous, and like her cat baby, that's just like a cuddler cat. They get jealous of each other and like they like they'll fight each other, like really bad, but they don't like each other because they're trying to fight for Sweetie's attention. The video went viral. Oh, okay. It went viral in recent times though, right? Didn't go viral back then in the 80s. Or was it viral back then too? What do you get arrested for? Oh yeah, for sure. Subscribe to Jenny, guys. There's 2 people in here. So she should have 3 subscribers total, guys. It's let's see, what is it? Put your thing up there. You know what I should do? Oh geez, I can't even find it now. Oh, here it is. That's her Misfit Mayhem. I should give you a wrench, but I'll give you one. It's just a pain in the butt because I gotta. Hopefully, I'm gonna see one of these days if this dang thing will let me open my own stream from my cell phone, because you can't do it on. So, what do you guys think about Trump winning? Yeah, see, well, for whatever reason, it never lets me do it. What do you guys think about Trump winning? Did your dreams come true? Was it there? Are you happy now? Are you pissed? That's pretty much it. Like, people are either happy or pissed. Not many people are like, eh. I guess there's some. I'm kind of like, eh. Okay, there you go. They had the wrong guy. Okay, hold on. They had the wrong guy, but his drunken rant was hilarious. Yeah, it was pretty funny, dude. You trying to grab my flaccid penis? He pardoned the January Sixers. Who did? Oh, Trump did? I didn't know that. He pardoned them? Dude, that's just like a slap in auditing Erie County's face, dude. He literally just finished his probation like a week ago. So we had to do all that probation, 4 years probation, dude. And he literally, they just pardoned him. I got to call him, dude, to see what he thinks about that. He's going to be pissed. But, I mean, here's the thing though, dude. Like, I could almost get on board with Trump, dude. Like, he is the best president I think that we've had in like at least recent times. And if you agree with the current state of how government should be ran, or how it's status quo, I guess I should say, then he's the best man for the job. But like, I'm not for status quo. I mean, if you had like a libertarian president in there, things would be much different. But given status quo, he's the best. And I could almost even get on board with him, like, as much as I could. I can't really get on board with him because I'm a libertarian, but as much as I could, except for this whole bootlicking stuff that he does. You know what I mean? Like, that he wants to give police what is it called again? I always forget the word. Amenity or indemnity or whatever it's called. Unlimited, you do whatever you want with no consequences. I mean, you can't be part of the 1A community and vote for Trump, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't. I mean, that's so stupid. You can't. That's like being like, oh yeah, that's like advocating for health and fitness, but you don't work out, and then you eat cake and ice cream every night. You're like going against what you're trying to advocate for. It's the same thing. Like, you can't be like, yeah, 1A, hold cops accountable. Yeah, Trump's a great guy, man, but he wants to give them, unlimited qualified immunity. Like, dude, when I hear people like in the 1A, like saying, yeah, Trump this, Trump that, like, I try not to be like, oh man, you're just a complete dumbass. You know what I mean? Because I try to be sympathetic about it and be like, maybe they don't know, or maybe they do know and they're just a complete moron. I don't know, but I get it. I get the appeal, to want to be happy about that. And I don't want to speak for her, but I think Sweet Tea's kind of excited about it. She was saying stuff. I mean, I get it too. I mean, I'm excited to, maybe hopefully have the economy better. And I mean, the country's like totally messed up right now, dude. So I'm in hopes for that too. I mean, he's going to do some good stuff, but just like saying, Trump's going to do some good stuff in the same way. It's like saying, yeah, well, cake and ice cream tastes good. It releases endorphins, right? Like, of course, that's going to do some good stuff too. But I mean, it's not really good for you though. Just like Trump's not really good for the country, but I get it. Like I said, I could almost get on board if it wasn't for that, but that's the main thing that I just don't understand about these people that are all about holding cops accountable, but at the same time, they're voting for Trump, dude. Just, I guess, to each their own, man. Whatever you do, whatever you say, man. He also reinstated free speech, which confused me when they said reinstated. Oh yeah, well I saw some of the things where he was signing those executive orders, and one was to, what was it, like ban something, like I think the reinstatement was you ban something from people from talking poorly about the government, like censorship. You can't censor anyone anymore for talking poorly about the government, I think. Is something that he did, which is a good thing. I mean, that's good. So, I mean, for a statist, I mean, he's pretty good, man. I like him for a statist. You know what I mean? And, you know, most Americans are statists. You know, even the ones that want limited government, you know, and all that. Which I mean, I think probably most Americans do, but you're still a statist. I mean, just by advocating for government alone makes you a statist, in my opinion. But even limited government, you know, because people that like, oh, we need to limit government and the government's out of control right now, which it is. You know, most people come to that conclusion, but even those are the same people, a lot of them, right, that are, oh yeah, karma, yeah, this guy got pulled over because he cut someone off, ha ha ha, like they're like laughing, and you know, like people get pulled over. I'm not saying people should cut people off, but you know what I mean, like, oh, that guy got pulled over for speeding, or he got a ticket for the speed trap van taking his picture, ha ha, like karma got you, or whatever. Like, dude, you're a statist, bro. If you think that, you're a statist. Okay, like what these council meetings are doing during public speaking. No, that's a good point. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt that's what he's talking about. I think it's more like social media stuff. Like, what was there? People were saying that like people who were shadow banned and stuff. I don't think it was YouTube, but on certain accounts they were getting like their accounts were getting more views again and like stuff like that after Trump got into office. So I was hoping that my shadow ban is going to be gone because of it. I'm like, come on, man, it's got to work out for me. But I mean, yeah, they're not supposed to do that. Like city council meetings, they're not supposed to do that either. You know, like when they cut people's mics off because you're saying the F word or whatever, you know, like they're not supposed to do that stuff. It's free speech. It's protected speech. And there's case law, dude. It's Cohen versus, what is it? Cohen versus California. Is that what it is? It's free speech, man. Offensive speech is free speech. So Cohen, I remember his first name, went into, it was during the Vietnam War, and he went into California courthouse, walking up and down the corridors with a jacket on that read, "Fuck the draft." And they charged him with disturbing the peace for doing that. And it went all the way to the Supreme Court. It is California. Okay, yeah, you know what's up. And they said, hey, no, dude, that's protected speech. You can say fuck. I mean, that, you know, a lot of times police officers, you guys see all those auto videos, or you say fuck, you know, and they try to get you to say, oh, you're going to get arrested for disorderly conduct. Dude, saying fuck isn't disorderly conduct, man. Like, look up disorderly conduct. It's, you have to incite violence with your speech to be disorderly. You can't just go in the public sidewalk and say fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid, man. That's like, talk about a statist. Someone that thinks that you should be locked in a cage for saying fuck. I mean, you're a statist, bro. And if you're a police officer that's willing to do that to someone just to enforce your authority on them, you're a scumbag. Piece of trash. Yeah, it's Cohen versus California, now that I can remember, yeah. I made a whole speech on Cohen versus California at the Inglewood City Council meeting, because they were trying to say that our speeches have to be respectful and all that stuff. And it's like, look, you know, I've been respectful, but I'm respectful because I choose to, not because I have to, right? I can come up here and say fuck all I want, dude. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Once you're up on the podium, like they can make rules about their public comment. Like they can legally prevent anyone that's not a resident of the city to make a public comment. They have the authority to do that. But if you don't have that as your rule, and once you allow them up on that podium, if your defined process is 3 minutes, you cannot remove them from that podium for that 3 minutes, no matter what they say that's offensive, dude. You know, unless you commit a crime. Like if you say, I'm gonna bomb the mayor's house or something like that. I mean, maybe they could then, but you could go up there and just say fuck like over and over for 3 minutes, dude. Like they literally legally cannot remove you from that podium. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Yeah, so we got the 2.0 channel memberships up and going, guys, if you're interested. Dogs are more obedient and eager to please humans, but they both can be very intelligent animals. Too hard to say which is smarter as a species. Yeah, I would agree. It's like it's too difficult to really tell. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm biased. I like dogs. I've never really been a cat person. I mean, I like cats. You know, I like Sweet Tea's cats. I like them. They're nice, but they're so independent. And sometimes independence is nice because they're like super low maintenance. Cats are. Sometimes dogs get stressful, like my dogs, because they're so clingy, dude. Like I said, like Minnie just stares at me like they can't ever play amongst themselves. Like they can sometimes, but like it's just a lot of pressure on me. They always like have to have me. I feel guilty for not paying enough attention to them because they, you know, I'm just busy a lot. But it's a love-hate, I guess, on both sides. I disliked cats until I got one for my daughter. Then they grew on you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're pros and cons. Like they're not really cuddly. I'm like a kind of a cuddler kind of guy. And so that's why I like about these dogs. They're especially Minnie. But Love's actually getting more cuddly now. The first couple years of his life, he never wanted to like be picked up or nothing, dude. He was super independent, like teenager. But then when he got sick, and actually when I first started my channel, we had a fundraiser for him and everything, dude. He got really sick. He almost died. And his salivary glands were infected. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. Kept taking to this stupid vet that didn't know what they were doing. Finally, I said, screw these guys. I took him to this other place. They diagnosed him like right away. Stupid, man. But he was in like agonizing pain. They had to put him on fentanyl and everything, dude. He was super skinny. But after he got sick, that's when we bonded because then he knew I was taking care of him, you know? Like he couldn't even move. It was like he sleeps on the bed and I'd accidentally like kick him. You know, sometimes I accidentally kick him because he sleeps on the foot. I'm like kick him, but you know, I'll like move and hit it, bump him, and he's whining, like, you know, and then he wouldn't go out the dog door. I had to like carry him out so he could go pee. He would just sit there and you could tell the guy was in agonizing pain, dude. And he would pee, he wouldn't lift his leg like he usually does. He just, oh man. The guy was in agonizing pain, dude. He's the toughest. Loaf is literally the toughest I've ever met, dude. He's so tough. I look up to him. I admire him. I love them both, but I've had closer relationships with dogs. Never been as close with a cat as I was with my dog Coco. Granted, never spent much time training cats like I do Coco, like with Coco. Okay. Yeah, see, I've never really had cats. I never had a cat, actually. So, not really. I mean, I've lived with cats. I mean, Sweet Tea's cats. She's got 3 of them. I mean, they're cool. They're just there. They do their own thing, you know? There's not really, like, any benefit to them having them. They're just there, you know? It's kind of how cats are to me. They're just there. Like, Baby's the only one that really likes to interact. And like he'll come sit on your lap and like he like forces you like to pet him and stuff. Like he gets aggressive with it, dude, if you don't pet him. He's old, but like Boomy, the young one that like brings in the mice and the birds and the snakes, like he's just there, dude. He doesn't like come up to you or want really much to do with you. Or and then the other one, Noki, she's the same. They're just there. That's it. But you know, they're low maintenance, like I said. Like when Sweet Tea would come to my house, or you know, we go out of town, she would like just leave them tons of food and like tons of water, and then they're just good. You know what I mean? Because they just go in the litter box, and they're good to go for a week. But yeah, I'm kind of excited, at least with the Trump thing, to see if how much the country's going to get any better. I figure, like, dude, if Trump would have won this last time, do you know how, like, probably badass the country would be right now? Because, like, when you get 4 years of progress and it's doing good, but then it goes all the way back to shit. I mean, now you got to start over from scratch again. You know what I mean? And it's even worse now than it was when he first took over. But like once you get some momentum, like when you start with shit and then you go up to 4 years and it's like, pretty good. And then you think about you go from there up to another 4 years. But now we got to start all the way back from like way down here now. So, I mean, how much better is he going to get it, Because trust me, I mean, I think that the United States does need to be ran like a business. And I'm not like super into politics or even know what I'm talking about, but I do know some stuff. And my opinion is that the United States, it's a business. Think about it. Like all these deals that we have with other countries, it's like a business. So it needs to be ran like a business. And we were getting screwed over, man. Taken advantage of by all these other countries. So that's going to be gone. What he pulled out of that Paris Green Deal or whatever that thing was right away. First day. Cats like to be at your feet when you least expect it and you trip over them. Dogs not so much. I've stepped on my dogs a couple times and I actually stepped on Baby once, the cat, and I felt bad because I was like so stressed out that day and back then that I stepped on him, and like I wasn't nice about it though, because I was just like upset. I was like, oh, why are you by my foot? You know what I mean? And then like he like ran upstairs and was all like sad and was hiding. And I was like, then he was like scared of me. And I was like, oh shit, like I didn't mean to step on him. You know what I mean? But I wasn't also like sympathetic. Like I wasn't nice to him about it. Like, oh, my bad. Sorry. I was like, oh, why are you by my foot, cat? And so I felt bad. And then I went up and made up with him. Like I went up to the bedroom where he was and like told him I was sorry and stuff. I do like how he immediately ended DEI practices and established that there are only 2 genders. It was past time for that lunacy to end. No, I know, dude. Thank God. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, thank God for that crap, dude. It's such a, I mean, they're doing that on purpose, man. Like the Democrats are doing that on purpose. They're like trying to, it's a big psyop, dude. Like they're trying to ruin the country on purpose, man. It's like this whole agenda that they have. You know what I mean? To get everyone okay with being, just being gay is just normal. And like, if people are gay, they're gay. I don't think people choose to be gay. I think they're born gay, but to make like transgenderism normal when, I literally have transgender friends, or at least one of them. But I mean, it is a mental illness. It's called gender dysphoria. It's like a literal mental health condition. We shouldn't be like teaching kids in school and libraries that like, you can be a boy if you want, you can be a girl when you grow up. Like you shouldn't teach people to have mental illnesses, dude. Like, it's like, yeah, kids, guess what? When you grow up, you could be bipolar too. Like that's literally the same thing. It's stupid, man. Like if somebody is transgender, I'm not going to deny them their humanity if they're an adult and they, you want to mutilate yourself. I mean, it's your body, dude. Non-aggression principle. I'm not going to use force on you unless you initiate force on me. But I'm also not going to be teaching my kids, dude, like kids, all these kids that, they're teaching you that, oh yeah, you can be, transgender and all this stuff. And they end up getting like the surgery and stuff like that. And they regret it later. They're like, oh man, I was just confused. I shouldn't have done that when I was 18. You know what I mean? Like I was confused. Now it's too late. So people just get manipulated. Human beings are very easily influenced. Think about it. All the times you're easily influenced, right? So, and then you do stuff like that. It shouldn't just be normalized. Yep. Well, it's not just that too. There's a whole big thing, man. I remember seeing, I got to ask my cousin, he sent me this thing. Like there's this whole agenda. It's going back for like hundreds of years, like 150 years or something like that. Like all the stuff that they're predicting that they're going to do is like happening. It's like this huge, long process And like we're in the stage right now of like normalizing this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Although I'm against qualified immunity, our leadership has been so evil and against our own Americans, it was easy to vote for Trump. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could have voted for Libertarian. I mean, what that sounds to me like is those people that say, oh, he's the lesser of two evils. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. And so voting for the lesser of evil, voting for the lesser of two evils means that you're voting for evil. I don't know, man. And I agree. And I said earlier, I think before you got here, that I get the attraction of it. You know, it was going to be one or the other, but I mean, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted Libertarian. I don't even know who I voted for this. I usually know the person. Like last time I voted for Joe Jorgensen, and then the time before that was Adam Kokesh, and the time before that was Gary Johnson. But I don't even know who it was this year. I was in jail when I voted. But you know, I get the appeal to it, but again, dude, like, I don't know, man. You can't sit there and be like, yeah, dude, let's hold cops. I just hold it. It's more important to me than maybe it is to you, Blurple. Like, to me, this is like my life's mission here, dude. Like, this is my life's work, is holding police accountable, right? So there's no way I can vote for Trump after his bootlicking stuff that he's doing right now. So, and maybe I'm just trying to hold everyone in the 1A community to that same standard. And maybe it's just not as important to you as it is to me, but you know, maybe this 1A stuff is just something you believe in, but it's not your life's work. So this is my life's work. So there's no possible way I'm voting for Trump or even feeling good about voting for Trump. You know what I mean? There's just no way. Right? I really don't care, but don't force me to use your preferred pronouns. That's initiating force on your ideology on me. That's where I draw the line. Yeah. And, I understand, like, Ben Shapiro says, like, I'm not going to be forced to call you he or whatever. And like, I understand that. And if that's how you are, then I'm not like saying that's bad. Me personally, like if I've been in that situation a few times in my life where, there's a guy that wants to be a girl or opposite. I want to be called he, and I'll just call you he, dude. It's not like that big a deal to me. It's not like affecting me. So I'll just call you he if you want. I mean, I'm not going to literally in my own mind, like, or even to you, your face, say, yeah, I mean, I think that you're a he. I mean, if you ask me the truth, I'll be like, no, you're not really a he. I mean, you're a she, period. But I mean, I'll call you a he if you want me to. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'm going to try to deny you your humanity. I mean, but when it comes down to it, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, you're a girl. Yeah, you're a she. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to say that for sure. I'm going to deny biology or anything. Identifying as a toaster crap is insane. I know. Well, I mean, I don't think that it was the best option though, dude. I mean, that's your opinion that he's the best option. I think that there's way more people that were better than him, dude. Like we'll see when he ran against Adam Kokesh in 2024. I think Adam Kokesh was the better option, in my opinion. And then who won Libertarian? I think it was like John McAfee, wasn't it? The one, the Libertarian. He was a better option too than Trump was. So that's your opinion. That's not objective that he's the best option. We should probably stop talking. I think we're going to get a little, I can already feel myself getting emotional. We're supposed to be talking about cats and dogs, guys. Unless you want to. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, like cats though, like Sweet Tea's cats, man, that baby cat, he's like one of those fluffy ones. Dude, you have to vacuum every single day. Like every 2 days. Like when I lived there, it was every 2 days I'd vacuum. The max, usually every day, but 2 days is the max, dude. There's fur balls all over the place. That's what I like about these guys. They don't shed. But then, of course, then I got Loaf though too. I mean, he pees in the corners and stuff. So he's kind of a pain in the butt. You have to like keep him quarantined in the kitchen. I'll never vote on president election. The electoral college irks me, and it's kind of stupid. I don't even understand. They're saying, I understand it. It's like, well, because California is so populated or something like that, that'd be so many votes for just one little part of the country. But like, who cares? It's all a big part of, it's all the United States. You know what I mean? It's like, I just don't, it should just be popular vote. I think most people agree it should just be popular vote. It doesn't matter if it's high density of population in this state. So it's got to be electoral now. Like, who cares? It's all the United States. Oh, what flavor vape I got? Dude, I got so many. I got, I always do Geek Bars. This one's blueberry watermelon. And then I got this one, this one's cherry, California cherry. And then I got, this one's my favorite. This one's cherry bomb. And then I had another one. I got another one too. Got a grape one. I don't even know where it is. I think it's in the bedroom or something. And I got this one too. It's my backup. It's a cotton candy one. Blueberry cotton candy. I like cotton candy. It's my favorite flavor, but not this brand. This is the only brand they had that had, like, Geek Bar doesn't do cotton candy, so it's pretty good. It's just not as good as Geek Bar. I vacuum my place every day. I got an elderly cat that is over 20 years old that has shedding issues. Yeah. I mean, this cat, dude, and then he gets like matted. You know what I mean? Like big, thick, chunky mass. You got to shave him. Popular vote is still a popular vote. The Electoral College is literally undemocratic. Yeah. Well, I guess we don't really want to be democratic. I guess I see what you're saying, but I mean, democracy literally, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but it's just the majority enforcing its will on the minority. That's what democracy is. So it's majority rule. You know what I mean? Like, people just we vote for this law. This is the law. 51%. That's it. And then enforce their will on the other 49%. And I think the minority has, they have a good voice, and they're important. And so, that's why we have a constitutional republic. So you're supposed to vote. You don't vote for the law to be passed. You vote for the officials to make the laws. They're supposed to make the laws within the bounds of the Constitution. And like I said, if our government functioned the way it was intended to function, it would be fine, but it just doesn't. They don't make laws within the bounds of the Constitution, right? Obviously. I mean, there's thousands, probably, at least hundreds of unconstitutional laws. I mean, there's a bunch in Colorado. In every state you go to, there's unconstitutional laws and orders and policies, and, you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't really do any good if, on paper, like, yeah, we have a constitutional republic, but I mean, if the government can't follow their own rules, and I mean, what's the point? Might as well just have a democracy, dude. Might as well really, at that point, just have a dictatorship. They just do whatever the hell they want anyways, so just have a dictatorship at that point, dude. Forget it. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. My 30 seconds. Should we require constitutional education for our elected politicians? Would that possibly help things? Yeah, I think so. I think anyone that swears an oath to the Constitution should literally have to know the Constitution. Just like to be a doctor, you have to take a test and prove that you know medicine, right? To be an attorney, you have to pass the bar exam and prove that you know law, right? So to swear an oath to the Constitution, you'd have to prove it's not even that. I mean, the class, you wouldn't have to go to school for a bunch of years to learn the Constitution, right? You take like one course on it and, memorize all 27 amendments and their meanings. It's not like that entailed. So yeah, they should have to swear an oath on it. They should have to pass 100% on that test. That's my opinion. They should have to be able to recite every single amendment, and they should have to be able to tell the meaning correctly of every single amendment. 100% pass. Every politician, every mayor, every city councilor, every police officer, every county clerk, anyone who swears an oath to the Constitution. Think about how stupid that is. It's like I always say, it's just some words they say to get the job. It literally is just some words they say. That's it. I swear, I do, or whatever they say. Like, how can you swear an oath to something you don't even have a fucking clue? Not one police officer, as you guys know, that I've ever met, maybe you've seen a video where they actually know the 5 freedoms guaranteed by the First Amendment. That's just the First Amendment, the very first one. They don't even know. Freedom of speech is maybe what they know. Literally, that's like the only one they know. They don't know anything. So it's crazy, man. It's mind blowing that every judge, the judges probably have a decent amount. I mean, they're attorneys, but a lot of judges, they're not constitutional attorneys. I had one of my judges over here in Sheridan. She's like straight up told us, she's like, I'm not a constitutional attorney, so I'm not an expert. Like, okay, so cool. So you're unqualified to be up here in this bench trial right now, is what you're saying. Like admitting on the record that you're unqualified. You know what I mean? Like, then what are you doing here, dude? Fucking step down, have someone else come up here then. That's how I feel about it. I don't know. People just, especially elected judges. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think all of them, even if you're appointed, if you're like a magistrate or whatever. But yeah, especially elected, but I mean, they all should though. I mean, it's the supreme law of the land. I mean, no matter what kind of attorney you are, whether you're an ambulance chaser or a defense attorney or civil rights attorney, whatever you do, bankruptcy, it's the supreme law of the land. It's like it's the fundamentals. Every attorney should have to know that inside and out. Not just civil rights attorneys. You know what I mean? Everyone should. Dude, I think every American should. I mean, they should just teach civics in school like they used to. They don't do that no more because people who know their rights, government ran schools, don't want to teach its own citizens how to revolt against its own government. Right? That's why they stopped doing that. I mean, that's my opinion, why they stopped doing that. But yeah, every American should know it. I don't know it. I mean, I wasn't required to learn anything about the Constitution when I went to school. So they stopped civics before I was there. I didn't take any of that stuff in high school. I just barely started learning about the Constitution, like what, 4 or 5 years ago when I started watching audits. I don't know every amendment inside and out. I mean, a lot of auditors do. They know them all. I don't. I know it's relevant for what I use. You know what I mean? I'm more concerned, honestly, with learning rather than I should learn the whole Constitution, but I'm not a constitutionalist, like a lot of auditors and cop auditors that are constitutionalists. I'm not a constitutionalist. I mean, we have natural rights, The Constitution doesn't grant you rights. 100% agreed. I had a civic class in high school, but it was a quick, condensed, single semester class called economics class. Yeah, you didn't know all the amendments inside and out, right? I had a little quick thing on the Bill of Rights or something. We probably spent like 2 weeks on the Constitution. Yep. That's more than police officers spend. You know how much they spend in the academy on the Constitution? 8 hours. 1 day. Out of the 6-month training, they spend 1 day on the Constitution. So you got 2 weeks, dude. So in civics in high school, man. So, dude, I don't know if you want to tell me how old you are, but I'm trying to figure out when they stopped. You said you did take a civics class in high school, and I didn't. I was class of 01, so I was shocked to find out they don't teach civics classes there anymore. Yeah, so they teach that stuff in Australia. What do you guys have? Is it called the Constitution? Yeah, 8 hours, dude. 09? Oh, what? Oh, you're younger than me, dude? You're like way younger than me, dude. You took civics? Where the heck did you go to school? We didn't have no civics when I was in high school. Oh, you're kind of young, dude. Oh yeah, that's right. Kansas. Forgot. You're a Kansas kid. Oh, they don't teach us anything like that here. I was referring to the US. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I knew you were referring to the US, but I thought that maybe they taught you guys something there in Australia too, though, like a civics class or something. Yeah, I'm only 33. I think I remember you telling me this before, though. I'm a bit younger for the 1A movement. That's true. You're young. 33 is young. Most of us are 35 and up. Most of the vast majority of that, not vast, but the majority is like, let's say 45 to 65. Like 45 and up is bigger chunk of it. But definitely 35 and up for sure. It's an older crowd, older men too, like usually 90% men, 10% women. It's just like it's a men dominated kind of thing, which is like, all the auditors, it's a men dominated profession. There's not that many women that do it. That's why when you do have a woman that does it, it's like, they get a lot of attention, I feel like, especially if you're good at it. If you have something about you that people like, people like it. Like you could be a woman and blow up in this if you wanted to, if you're good. If you're good and if you're pretty, dude. Like if you were like a super fine, beautiful woman, dude, and you were like knew your shit, do you know how you'd be bigger than Long Island, dude? Like if you were like as good as Long Island, but you were like some fine ass chick, you'd explode, dude. Like you'd be the top auditor of the United States. That's all it would take. Is a smart woman that was pretty, because everyone's men. So, I try to do like target marketing with my videos too. And like, so like, Sweet Tea didn't like it too much because I put, when I go downtown and I record like girls, they're like in their skimpy outfits. They're already in their outfits, but I put just like a little clip, like segments in there of them. They're like dancing, being whatever, provocative. But it's like, not because I'm trying to holler at them. It's because, I know my audience, dude. They're 90% men. Like they're going to like that. I know it. And if that's going to keep you watching more, then I'm going to throw that in there. You know what I mean? So you got to think like a businessman sometimes. I'm slowly getting my nephew into it. He's 17 and I keep sending him videos and quizzing him on our rights and whatnot. Already taught him to stand on his Fifth Amendment rights and not talk to cops. Right on, dude. Does he get a lot of police contact? I mean, you have a Fifth Amendment right to just not talk at all if you want to, but it specifically protects, if they're investigating you. Like if they're going to interrogate you, then they have to read you that your Miranda rights. But I mean, yeah, you could just not say anything. I would never do that though. Like you could technically like go in to do the silent audit or whatever and just not say a word. But there was actually a case where somebody lost. I don't know if it was a criminal charge or a civil lawsuit. They lost because they failed to the reason was they failed to vocalize, for lack of a better term. I think there's a better word for it, but to vocalize their intent. And so you always, for me, I always want to say, hey, look, I'm an independent citizen journalist. I'm here gathering some content for a story. I was going to grab some pamphlets. I'm taking some pictures of the publicly accessible area. This is a First Amendment protected activity. Boom. At least if you just say that, then you say nothing else for the rest of the time. Now you're in the clear because you stated it clearly of what your intent is. So, but that's it. Then you don't have to say anything else. At one point, he had some chick he went to high school with was accusing him of some shit without evidence. Oh, okay. Women do that sometimes. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird because it's like their way of getting at people. Not all. I mean, sometimes it's real. I've known some women that have some real stuff happen to them too. But it is, women do that, man. And it's been proven, you know, like DNA testing and stuff, that they're faking it. Like that's like evil stuff right there, dude. Like that's bad. You should be locked in a cage for doing stuff like that, for accusing people of that. It's not true. Because they get desperate, you know. Women are, again, they're more emotional than men, so they'll just try to, not all women, but you know, as a whole, they're more likely to do stuff like that. You don't hear men doing stuff like that. Oh, this chick grabbed my ass. Like, you know how many people would like make fun of you if you if you tried to like file a sexual harassment charge against a woman? Like, you probably, you know, everyone would clown you, dude. Society think it's a joke, right? Because, you know, women can do that, dude. Literally, it's like this double standard. Like there was this meme I saw of like these women reporters, all these women reporters with their mics and stuff. And they're like groping the model guys, you know what I mean? Like grabbing their chest and all this stuff. And then the meme was like, imagine if this was opposite and there was a bunch of guy reporters and there was women's like in bikinis and they were doing the same thing, right? Like everyone would be up in arms. Oh, this is ridiculous. But like women can do it. It's totally fine. You know what I mean? So it's like a double standard. You know, they go both ways. There's double standards with guys too. Oh yeah, it is disgusting when they do that, dude. Like it's straight up trash. Women tend to play victim because they can easily get away with it, which is so horrible. It diminishes all the women that are actual victims. Yeah, it's true. Well, they can't always get away with it, but like, here's the thing is that like human beings by nature, they just kind of believe everything that they're told. It's like if a woman comes up to you and tells you that, the vast majority of people are just going to believe you. Oh, that's messed up. And you know what? Don't judge them for disbelieving, because I guess what? I bet you everyone in here does the same thing. You ever have a friend that tells you about a bad breakup? Oh, this guy did this and he was an asshole and he did this, that, and the other thing. And what do you say? Oh yeah, fuck that guy. You deserve better, right? Fuck him. Well, guess what? You only heard one side of the story. And he is telling all of his friends the same shit about the girl. Oh, she's a bitch and she did this and, you know, she did all this stuff. Guess what his friends are telling him? Oh, man, fuck that bitch, dude. You can do better than her. Because they only heard one side too, right? Everyone does it, dude. They just believe anything that people tell them. That's why you're only supposed to believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Only believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Because like remember that show like Brain Games or something like that? I remember I saw this thing where it was like even eyewitness testimony. Like there was that one guy too, also the black guy that's the scientist. He's always doing on those like YouTube shorts and all that stuff of something with a jury. And like the jury, they were trying to say something. I can't remember, but like some guy was getting ridiculed for saying that he couldn't be fair in this judgment because of something. And then the judge said, so you couldn't be fair because of blah, blah, blah. And then like, he didn't even say the right thing. Like the judge that just happened like 2 minutes ago, like insinuated something that didn't even happen. And he just witnessed it 2 minutes ago. So he was wrong. But like in the same way, you know, this brain games thing, all these people witnessed a car accident and they were testing them. It's a bunch of witnesses. And then they interviewed each person individually. One guy said the car was going 35 miles an hour. One guy said the car was going 40. One side guy said it was 25. Like everyone had a different answer. One guy said the car was red. Another guy said it was blue, like all these different things. And they just witnessed the whole thing. And they all had these different answers, right? So you can only really believe half of what you see. So even if you see it, it's not really guaranteed, right? So that's when people tell me, you know, like I'll be sympathetic, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, but I'm not going to just take it, you know, take it to the bank. Oh yeah, man, this girl treated my friend like trash. Dude, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? Because like, again, she's saying the exact same shit to her family and friends, and they're talking trash about him. So you never really know. Yo, what's up, Splatter? Yeah, this one's got to throw this one away. See these ones? See, it's at 39% and 0% juice. But like when these get to 0, I can usually recharge them like 3 more times and they're still good. But that now I'm starting to taste bad. I get that. I'm a natural skeptic. Everything with a grain of salt, as they say. Yeah. And I'm not even like a big time skeptic. I just know, you know, from experience, you know what I mean? Like we've all been through breakups, and you know, when you break up, then all her friends think you're just total asshole, evil person. And then I just recognize, I see the same thing happening in my life. And I know that all my friends think that she's a bitch. You know what I mean? So that's how it goes. And somewhere in there is, you know, there's a middle, you know. But unless you get to see both sides and you lived with the couple the whole time, you know, you're not going to really know. What flavor are you working with? I don't like the ice ones. Like the mentholy ones, I don't like those. This one's kind of mentholy. It's blueberry watermelon, but it's not like super. Oh, I used to do the mango, but they added the ice part, so you switched. So they changed the flavor. Yes, you don't like the mentholy ones too. That's another thing. And this isn't racist, okay? It's just an observation. It's a stereotype. It's not race. People confuse stereotypes with being racist. But why do Black people like Newports? Why do they like menthol cigarettes? What's the reason for that? I don't understand that. It's just like a cultural thing. Like a bunch of people, they liked menthols, and then it just spread. And so, like, you know, if you grow up in the Black neighborhood, people are smoking. They're smoking Newports and Cools. So that's just what you like, because it's kind of like a demographic thing. I mean, that's kind of what I think it is. But when I used to smoke cigarettes, I'd buy a pack of menthols, but I couldn't smoke menthols every single pack. Like I couldn't just smoke Newports. If you smoke Newports, that's like the worst cigarette. They put fiberglass in it, cuts your lungs, get more nicotine in there. It's like they're really bad for you. But like I would do it like to switch it up. I do a pack of Newports or Cools, or I actually like those Marlboro Milds are pretty good. But that I couldn't just smoke them all the time though. I'd have to, go back to something else. I got the Chupa Chups strawberry. Oh, I don't ever tried that one. Sounds good. As they said on Chappelle's show, nobody knows. Oh, is that what they said? Nobody knows? I used to smoke menthols when you started smoking. Yeah. Like when I very first started smoking, when I thought it was cool, I smoked Newports because my black friends smoked Newports. I said they got me into it, Kia and Marissa. And I was like, what was that, like 12, 13? And she would smoke Newports. I remember $2 a pack. I remember for a pack of Newports in like 94, 95 or something. Now they're like 13 in Denver. Imagine think about how much money you waste smoking cigarettes. I mean, these are a waste too, but like, dude, this thing is like, one of these will last me like, this is like a carton of cigarettes, dude, like one of these, and they're $30. You know what I mean? So that's like a small fraction of the cost of a cigarette. And these are healthier too. I know these can give you problems too, popcorn lung and stuff, but I've never had any issue smoking these. If I smoke cigarettes, my lungs will start like aching, and like I notice like I don't have endurance, They're so much worse, and they're more expensive, dude. $13 a pack. I mean, if you smoke a pack a day, $13 a day on cigarettes, it's like those people that go to Starbucks like 2 or 3 times a day. You spend like, $20 a day on Starbucks, dude. Like that's crazy, man. That's like a whole bill. That's like a car payment or something, dude, for Starbucks. That's why I do Starbucks, for convenience, like every now and then, like shoot, these days, not even once a month, like very rarely, because I just hang out by myself nowadays. But, if we're on the go or something, maybe I'll stop on a Starbucks, if we're out doing audits or something. But like those people that go there like every day, dude, forget that, man. Just make coffee at your house. Starbucks coffee is not even like that great, dude. It's really not. There's nothing like that special about it. You could easily make Starbucks stuff at your house. Vapes do last longer, for sure. Bro, for real, I quit smoking when packs of cigs were like $7 a pack, and it still felt like I was saving a small fortune. Yeah. I mean, heck, dude, back then when you quit, when it was $7 a pack, you probably actually literally were saving more than you'd be saving now at $13 a pack because your $7 had more buying power back then. So it might even been worth more than 13, who knows, or probably at least the same. So that's the thing. I remember inflation, just noticing inflation. It always gets worse. It never gets better, right? And I remember noticing it before it was really bad, like it is now. Like it's terrible now, right? But I started working at Papa John's when I was 17. It was one of my first jobs, and I became a shift leader. And this was back in like 99, 2000. It was in 2000 when I started. I remember September 2000. I remember the date and everything. And when I became 18, I was a shift leader. I made like $10 an hour. And then I became shortly after that a salaried assistant manager, and I made $550 a week. It was like $28,000 a year plus bonus. So I was making, I don't know, like maybe $35,000 a year. I was like 19 years old in like 2001. That was like pretty good money. I remember I had a lot of money. And then like 10 years later, and like it was like 2014, a little bit more than 10 years, I went back to Papa John's and I was a GM, and I made more dollars. But I remember I was like, man, I remember last time I worked at Papa John's, it felt like I had more money. So I did the research on inflation, and inflation had gone up like 34%. So even though I was technically making more dollars, I was actually had less buying power. So that's how inflation screws you, man. Just like Ron Paul says, a few things would benefit the American citizen more than ending the Federal Reserve. I think that's true. I think that's probably, I could only do one thing with like the blink while keeping government, besides just banning government altogether. But if that was the one thing I could change within government, with snapping a finger, I think that would probably be the most important thing, is just end the Federal Reserve. Oh, I know. I remember you telling me. Okay, hold on. I started smoking cigarettes 7 years ago. Yep. And I quit with vapes 4 years ago when nothing else worked. Yes, I remember you said like you were like 40 something when you started. Most people start like when they're teenager, like 20s, and you started when you're like in your 40s. Like late 40s or something. That's funny. Yeah, see, I've never had an issue quitting smoking, dude. Like I've smoked on and off my whole life, but I've never been like addicted. You know what I mean? Like I just quit. It's one of those things that I just don't get addicted to. It's more of kind of like a social thing or something. Like these, I smoke these a lot when I'm like up here, but I don't smoke them like constantly throughout the day or anything. Yeah, 48. Yeah. See, you got peer pressured at 48. I had such a hard time quitting. I used the patch and the gum, used the patch every day, and then the gum for like when cravings hit. I mean, it's really just mind over matter, man. Like it's just like when people say, oh, I don't have time to work out. Well, do you think that all these people that go to the gym all the time and they have great bodies, do you think they just have all this extra time laying around? No, they make time for it. No one has extra time. We're all busy. You make time to go to the gym. Same thing with quitting smoking. If it's important enough to you, you'll do it. Just like when I first met Sweet Tea and I told her that smoking was disgusting to me. Like when she would come over and stay at my house for like a full week, dude, she wouldn't smoke a single cigarette. I thought she quit smoking. She would smoke a single cigarette the whole week. And then, as time went by and all that, and then, then all of a sudden she smokes right in front of me. She don't give a fuck anymore. Right. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, she's trying to impress me. So if there's a reason, it's mind over matter. Like if there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? Like if it's important enough to you, you could quit anything. You know what I mean? But that's all it is. There's got to be something there, like to motivate you. If there's nothing there to motivate you, then just be like, fuck it, I guess. Dang. I got addicted in a year and was chain smoking 3 packs a day. That's bad. Holy cow. You got to be careful with that for like women. Because like, women, your voice gets all deep and shit. Like luckily, like Sweet Tea has a really girly voice still, which is good. But, like smoking for women, especially, like it makes women more wrinkly, your skin. Makes guys wrinkly too, but women especially. Those women that smoking their whole lives, they got like that leather skin. You know what I mean? You could tell that raspy voice. And, for guys, it's not good because it restricts the capillaries. And my uncle, he's not a heart doctor, but he works with the heart surgeons, like in the surgeries with them. And he says, dude, I don't care if you haven't smoked for 20 years, dude, once you've smoked for a while, when it restricts your capillaries, it's permanent, dude. Like when they cut people open, they can see they're restricted. So like, it's bad for guys too. Like it causes ED, you know what I mean? Erectile dysfunction, because you can't get as much blood down there from smoking your whole life. So it's not good. You refuse to work out. Fuck that. Yeah, but how is your thing misfit? What is it? I thought that's what that kind of was implying, like misfit, like you're fit. But you refuse to work out. Fuck that. Damn, if I ever get that bad, put me out of my misery. Get what? How? What bad? Oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, I have good genes. I got good genes too, man. Like pairs of Levi's in there, pretty good. You don't need anything top of the line, dude. You know, Levi's is good for me nowadays. You lucky duck. I feel like shit if I don't hit the gym at least 3 times a week. Yeah, you're lucky duck, Jenny. I know. Like I feel better when you go. Like you have more energy and you feel there's something about it. I know what you meant. I was being facetious. I didn't laugh though. Not jeans like Jeans, like Levi's, like jeans, Genes. And it gets addicting too. Like once you start seeing progress, it's addicting. Like now I'm like, I took the last like 3 days off in a row. I finally went back today. I hit lower back and biceps, but I start getting anxiety. The reason I took 3 days off because it was like negative degrees out, dude. I didn't feel like going outside, but it finally been warming up. So went back. I got to go every day now until I go to Colorado Springs next week. Yeah, once you start putting on those gains, it's I don't want to go back to being small and like not strong. You know what I mean? 101 Fahrenheit in Australia. Dang, well it's hot over there. That's crazy, man. That's hot. It's even hot. Like it doesn't even really. It gets 101 in Denver sometimes, but not usually. Usually like 90s. I ever produce mucus and develop major breathing issues if I don't stay active. That's why I quit smoking the ganja, because it makes my overproduction of mucus even worse to where I'll like suffocate. Oh, really? Dang. You do like edibles then? Or what about vapor? Can you do vapes? Like, like the wax pens and stuff? Remember the volcano? You ever done that volcano thing? I remember one time I did a volcano, dude, and like it was like one of the highest I ever been. It's crazy, but like it's different. It's a different kind of high though, because I feel like vaping high is more of a high that's closer to like edible, because there's THC, which is the active chemical, right? That gets you high. But when you burn cannabis, it alters it into thousands of chemicals just by burning it. And the combination of those chemicals is also contributes to your high. But if you eat it or vape it, you're not burning it. So you're only getting the THC and maybe a few other chemicals that are in there that are contributing to your high. So it's a different high. It's more of like, it's a less anxiety high. Like I don't get, what's it called? Paranoid. You know what I mean? Like on like edibles as much. Just having THC in my system pushes my mucus production into overdrive, unfortunately. Oh, really? It's crazy. So it's like a medical condition you have? I lost, I got this 8 terabyte hard drive that I bought. It's like this huge, gigantic one. You got to plug it into the wall. It's got a power source and everything. And I was over here on this side, and like many like 2 days ago, freaked out. She heard a dog. And she like jumped off the couch to go run and like hit the cord and like bumped the hard drive like while I was trying to download some stuff onto it or upload it or whatever. And like totally messed the whole thing up. It's completely ruined. I lost everything on there. So I had to start all over. I'm almost back to where I was. I lost 3 days worth of work downloading this footage from the jail. But then I'm starting to realize, oh shit, dude, I lost other stuff. Like that time where I called out that cop in Colorado Springs. I'm going to put in my obstruction video. Remember at the end that I called him out? I lost all that, dude. But I mean, I still have the live stream though. Luckily I was live streaming it too. So I just downloaded that. But like, the live streams, like it's not as good a footage and the audio is not as good too. Cause I got a really good microphone and the good camera, but so I'm realizing I'm like, shit, dude, I lost that too. So I'm going to take my hard drive in. I was going to take it in, see if they can do a data recovery. But when I took it into the Geek Squad and Best Buy, he was like, all right, so we start at $200, but that's just for the level 1. Like, it's not even guaranteeing that we can recover it. And I've seen it go up all the way up to $1,000 to recover it. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know if I want to spend all that. I mean, how bad do I need? Like, if it was like one of my other hard drives where I have like 4 terabytes, because luckily I didn't have that much stuff on there. I just got it like in November, so it's not that full. If I like had like a bunch of stuff on there, it would be worth maybe $1,000 to me, to not have. And I'm starting to realize like these hard drives could go out. Something could happen to them. Obviously, like to really back your stuff up, you got to have it like on 2 hard drives. And now that I'm shooting in 4K, man, this shit's going to be expensive. Like I have 4 hard drives that are completely full. They're 4 terabytes each. One of them is 5 terabytes each. I'd have to go buy a bunch of hard drives. They're like $130 each. You know what I mean? We're talking, like $600 right there just to get a whole nother hard drive, back them up on 2 full things. And I'm wondering how long is it going to take me I'd have to like let it go overnight to copy all of the stuff from one hard drive, 5 terabytes worth, and then put it onto another hard drive. And then just take that one and like set it in my archives or something like that in the closet, just so I have it. But I really should do that, because what if one of these hard drives goes out, dude? I don't, that's it. It's a wrap. So I got to do that. That's why I have what's called a RAID enclosure. There's 4 drives in this one enclosure, and 3 are there for storage, and 1 drive is purely there for redundancy in case another drive fails. Okay. But you have everything backed up twice, though? Yeah. Let's see. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Is tomorrow Thursday? No, tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Wednesday. I gotta get new spark plugs in my truck. It's doing this thing. It's like, it's like jerky sometimes, like it's like feels like it's like hard shifting or something like that. Like it'll like kind of jerk. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, what is that, man? And I was like, oh, I have to take it in. And I started thinking, oh shit, I've never had the spark plugs done on this. It's got like 61,000 miles on it. They're the original spark plugs. So I'm like, that's probably just needs a tune up. I'm hoping that's going to fix it. So it's not something crazy. You know what I mean? So it could be like a coil's going bad or something. And those coils are expensive to replace. Essentially, if one drive fails, it immediately throws all the data on the redundant drive, saving it all. Oh, really? Oh, dang, that's crazy, dude. See, you sound like you know like computers. I don't know computers, man. I just know like the basic. I know how to like do some stuff, but I'm not like big into it. Yes, my cruiser did that. Probably needs plugs and wires replaced. Okay. Wires. What do you mean by wires? Like the coil? But yeah, those plugs are the original plugs. It's got 61,000 miles. I always thought you're supposed to do your spark plugs like every like 50,000, but I looked it up on my truck. It's 30,000. But I mean, it also depends on your driving habits too. So like I just now started noticing anything. So 50,000 is probably fine, but 30,000 just to, to be super safe on it, I guess. They want you to spend more money, but yeah, the coil. I've had older vehicles that had wires. Okay. I don't know too much, but I know more than service level. Oh, you built your PC? Well, you know probably a lot then, dude. If you built a PC. I'm an Apple guy though. I just have Apple. I know it's a waste of money, but I like Apple stuff. It's more solid. But yeah, I don't want to have to replace a coil, dude. Because it's expensive. I hope it's not that. Maybe it's just the plugs though. It only has 61,000 miles on it. So yeah, I had to do that on the Cadillac. Yeah. And that's what I use it for anyway. It's like the main thing that I use it for. So, and they don't get viruses as easy. You don't have to put like antivirus software on your computer or any of that. And like, it's good, man. It's top tier when it comes to that. But, for like, it's way more expensive though, too. To get the same like computing power of this computer and a PC, you could probably spend $1,000 to get this. And I spent $3,500 on this computer. So, but I have an Apple cell phone too, so it's easier to I can airdrop stuff. Like sometimes I'll like literally airdrop something from my phone or from my computer to my phone, and then I'll use my phone to do something, and then I'll drop it from my phone back to my computer and then use it like that way. It's so much faster and easier to do stuff like that. If I take footage on my phone, because sometimes I don't have my good camera, I'll just whip out my cell phone. If I'm doing cop watching, I'm just driving and I see something, and then I can just airdrop it. It's so easy and nice. So what do you use again, John, for your editing software? You said, I think you use Premiere, you said, right? I have pirated version of, one sec. Cyberlink? That's what it's called? I've heard of no Cyberlink. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Yeah, this one's trash. This one's trash too, I think. This cherry one. That's trash. Power Director 365. That's what DirectD uses. He uses Power Director and CapCut. He uses like different ones for different things. Like I think he does like the first part on CapCut, and then he transfers that, whatever he uses that for is like the cuts or whatever, to like Cyberlink or vice versa, or not Cyberlink, Cyberlink Power Director, and then does it from there. Dude, that cell phone editing can be badass, dude. I've seen some really good stuff on people that edit on their cell phones. Like DirectD's editing's top tier, dude. And he does all that on his cell phone. I do all my stuff on my computer. You can be more precise with the computer, though. Like I can go in frame by frame and like really get detailed with it. I don't know if you can really do that on those phone ones. It just depends on what's important to you. You know what I mean? Like I know guys that literally record a video and then come home, have it edited and uploaded onto YouTube in like 2 hours. It takes me on average about 20 to 30 hours to edit a single video. Just depends on what I have to do with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's 40 hours. If I have to do a bunch of voiceovers and a bunch of, if I'm putting a bunch of stock footage in there because I'm doing a lot of voiceovers, that takes a bunch of time getting that lined up perfect. I mean, I'm a perfectionist. And then if I have, special effects I'm throwing in there, music, I go over it so many times to make sure, adjust the levels on the music so it's not too loud, not too quiet, and I listen to it over and over and over, make sure it's perfect. And some of the stuff on like my older videos, I'll watch and I'm like, oh man, I would have totally done this different. Like I should have turned the music down more. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting better. So, but like some people will say, I don't know if it was Sweet Tea that was saying like, a lot of people were saying, oh, you should be better, faster at editing now. And it's like, no, I'm actually slower because I'm learning more stuff. That's the thing. Like, yeah, if I edited the same way I did when I first started my channel, I could, have a whole video completely edited in like an hour or less. If I just did straight cuts and that's it, nothing, no intro, none of that. Sure. But like now it's like, now I'm doing like color correction, all this audio filters and stuff, zooming in and out, voiceovers, like I said, all that stuff, all these transitions, and I'll like adjust the transition. So it's like, this one will be 15 frames. This one will be 2 frames. I have all these different ones for different things. So it's actually more time consuming now. Let's see. For real, I hate trying to edit on my phone. My fingers have bad electromagnetic connections, so touchscreen stuff sucks for me. Oh, are you serious? You're like a what's it called? What is it? It's called a not a monopoly, anomaly or something like that, right? Got all this like weird stuff. Oh, you have too thick of calluses. That's what it is. Okay. Hey, you're a manly man, dude. Use your hands. I remember when I was in construction, I used to have, because I always had soft hands, dude, because I never was really like, I never did like hard labor or anything. And like after I was an electrician for a while, I started getting them actually when I started working out, getting calluses on my hands from the dumbbells. I was like, oh, I finally got calluses. And then when I was like an electrician, I remember I broke my finger. See how it's my finger? Oh, this one. See how it's like bent like that? I broke my finger playing basketball. And I had to go in to get this cast. They had to put a cast on it. And I had to go in like twice a week to get it redone because I actually have sweaty hands. And so that always come loose. I remember the chick was redoing my cast and she was looking at my hands and she's like, oh, just something about my hands. So I'm like, oh, what? Because they're dirty or whatever. And she's like, well, no, they're well used is what she said. I was like, yeah, I finally have manly hands now. So my hands were rough back then, but now they're back to soft. What's up, Hugh the Audit? I've been editing for the past few days. It'll be my first real audit. Oh, hey, cool. What kind of editing software do you use? And I got the book. Thank you. I already started reading it, and the stickers are awesome. Cool. I was going to give you the original Denver Metro Audits logo one, but I ran out of those. So I think you got everything else, though, except for that one. So I'm glad you like it. I need to order more stickers because I'm getting really low. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to actually, that's another thing I could save for my write-offs on my taxes, is all the stickers that I buy to give away and stuff. So I give away all those stickers. I don't sell them. I mean, people can buy them directly from the Teespring store. And I make I think I make like $2 per sticker on those. But the ones that I buy, because I have to buy them too, I get them at a cheaper price than you do if you just buy them, if you guys buy them. But I buy those and I just give them away to people. Usually I mail them, but sometimes I'll give them away on the streets too. I'm using iMovie because it's on my phone already. Yeah, a lot of people use on their phone. I think probably the majority of people. Like people that probably don't, I don't think probably like Audit the Audit probably uses something on his computer. But I mean, even like the cell phones are comparable to that stuff though too. Like I couldn't tell, like DirectD's auditing's amazing. So your phone just came with iMovie? My phone didn't come with anything. I actually have CapCut on my phone. I just never have used it. I used to have another one on there too that I bought and I never used. But then I figured out I have this thing because I use Premiere Pro and it comes with Photoshop, and it's like top tier, top of the line for thumbnails, but it's like super confusing, man. I went on there and tried to mess with it a little bit. Like I could make like the most bomb thumbnails with that, but it's kind of hard to figure out, man. I don't know if I want to spend that much time trying to learn it. You know what I mean? Like a tutorial on it. But I'd have to go and just watch more YouTube videos to figure that out. I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with Canva. But I think I want to try the thing that can Ask DirectD with the one that he uses on his cell phone, he said, because his thumbnails are the best. I think his thumbnails are the best in the whole business. Yeah, so you don't have an iPhone then? I have an iPhone and I don't have any iMovie thing or whatever it's called. Oh yeah, iMovie. Oh, you do think so? Oh, he said not. I don't think so. I think so. Yeah, if it says something, it's probably an iPhone then. I don't think I have iMovie. Let me check. I have iMovie. Oh, iMovie. Oh, look, yeah, see? Like I used to have it. I must have taken it off. Let's download it again. I didn't even know what that was. I must have deleted all my apps that I never use on here. Maybe it was one that came with it. Yo, what up, dog? Aussie Nathan in here. Let's see what this thing's about. What kind of editing software you use, Nathan? Okay. Allow full access. Allow. Okay. Match movie, storyboard, movie. Or you can let it create a movie for you. It's like AI. And you know what I should do? I should just like throw some raw footage in there and like let it just figure it out on its own, see what it comes up with. That'd be cool. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to play with this one day. Loaf! I like to just let them bark out there, but like, dude, I know they're pissing my neighbors off, dude. Cat are better. You come in and say cat are better. Did you leave and come back? Why are cats better though? No, cats are better because there's two-part question. It's which are smarter and then which are better. So you think cats are better. So why are they better and who's smarter and why? I like it. I used to use like Windows Movie Maker. I think it was called like 20 years ago. Oh, I think it was called like 20 years ago. Sorry, it's hard for me to read your stuff. UCut, the basic editing software for my phone. That's it, bro. Okay, UCut. All right. Yeah, everyone just does the stuff on their phone. They record on their phone and they do the editing on their phone. The only reason I got a camera, like when I first started this, I was recording on my phone. It was an iPhone SE, this old ass thing, and like the microphone kind of sucked. And like I was like, dude, I need to get it because I didn't know much about anything. I could have just got a better phone, but I was like, I need to get a good microphone. This microphone sucks. So I think about getting a new phone. I was like, I just need to get a camera. I was going to go get some basic camcorder that I could just hook a good microphone up to. And then I go into Best Buy, and then of course, I end up spending way more money than I wanted to. I ended up getting this good camera with a nice microphone. And then I had to get a gimbal, and then I had to get a monopod, and then I went from the monopod to the tripod, and then I went from that to other attachments and all kinds of stuff, right? But that's how I started, and I was like, I guess I just have this crazy rig now that no one else uses. The only other person that I know, there's some people that use it, but like I've seen some people use like a camera, but they just got like a camera and a microphone on it and they just hold it. It's not like they got the gimbal and everything that I have. But the only other person that does it like me, and I didn't start it, he started it before me, but I wasn't trying to copy him. I originally just wanted like I said, a good microphone. Is Amaganston Press and his son watching The Watchmen. I think we're the only ones that really have the rigs like we have. I mean, some people got some good rigs too, but I've never seen anyone like besides us that do it that way. I say like a lot too. It's a filler word. Your cats are very smart. Okay, well, I'm sure they're smart. It's not a very compelling argument, though. What's smarter, cats or dogs? My cats are very smart. I mean, my dogs are really smart. They come when you call. Okay, that's a minority, dude. Most cats don't. Most cats will look at you and say, "Kick rocks, buddy. I'm not listening to you." So you got like special cats then, because like I don't even know why Sweet Tea tries to call the cats, dude. Like she does it like a lot, actually. They never come, dude. They never come ever. Sometimes maybe if like we're feeding dinner, they'll come, but even then they don't. It's like calling for a cat is like a complete waste of time. I feel like you're just wasting your breath. Or calling for Loaf is a waste of time. He's actually getting better now, though. Hello. He's getting a little better now. There's once a yellow lab and a tabby ginger cat that followed me and my dad hunting. We walked 5 miles that day, and that dog and the cat followed us every step of the way through the woods. Oh, that's cool. I bet you they were like you know, they live together. What do you hunt for, bro? Oh, so there you go. So you hunt for deer. What else do you hunt for, though? Anything else? I've had deer. I've eaten deer before. It's pretty good. It's not like the best. I mean, I had it when I was a kid, so I don't really. I remember it was pretty decent. But the best like wild game I ever had was elk, and it was in elementary school, and my classmate cooked it for us, and it was freaking amazing. But then I had elk after that, and I remember I was disappointed. It was not as good as the elk that I had when I was in elementary school. It's how you cook it, man. It has a lot to do with it. It's how it was killed. Was it a clean shot? Did it die right away? Was it a heart shot, or did you miss and it ran away and a bunch of adrenaline pumped through it? Right? Was it cooked right? It has a lot to do with how it tastes. So, but I've had elk. It can taste amazing. I've had a lot of stuff. I've had elk. I've had alligator, rattlesnake. I think if I had antelope, I think I've had antelope. I've had rabbit. I've had bison. I've had, what else have I had? I know I've had more than that too. What's up? So slip your punches. I have a freezer full of elk meat. Oh, really? Do you hunt? Or does somebody in your family hunt? Yep, they both lived on my uncle's farm. Oh, by the way, she'll slip your punches. I got your email. So I'll be there. Oh, shit. Is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow. Shoot, what time is it tomorrow? Oh, yeah, it's tomorrow. What time? Yep, they both lived on my uncle's farm. I'll hunt for anything that's in legal season, basically. Dove, pheasant, quail, turkey, etc. I would hunt elk and moose, but I have to travel for those. Yeah, and like I think like hunting that stuff, it's like expensive too. Right? The license isn't it more? Like out here you can hunt for like ram or whatever. I think they're rams. And but it's like you have to put in for a lottery like to get the license for it. And I think it's like 70 racks to like buy the license to hunt those or something like that because they're like endangered or something. Rabbit and squirrel. See, I've never eaten squirrel. I mean, squirrel's a rodent. I guess a rabbit's technically a rodent too, I think, right? Your dad hunts? SSYP. I forgot what that means again. 8:30? Okay, I got to wake up early for that one. All right, I'll be there. I'll be in there around 8:15. I'll see you in there. I probably have like the thing where you can like see each other, you know. I'll be on the computer so you can be able to see 8:30. But he'll be in custody. They might not even get to him till like 10. But I got your link, so I got the email. So I'll be there. Yeah, very expensive. Again, dude, like people think, oh yeah, land of the free, home of the brave. What are you talking about, dude? I have to pay to hunt. I have to pay to like feed myself. I got to pay for permission to hunt. You know, and like certain things, you know, need to be regulated, I guess, because you know they go extinct. But it's a fundamental principle, man. It's you know survival of the fittest here. You know, I mean, I think that we should, you know, not want extinct animals either, but I think the animals were really there put here for us. Oh, she'll slip your punches. That's what that means. Okay. I'm like, what's SSYP? Sorry, guys. I'm a little slow. All right. Splatter, if you're still in here, man. Let's see. Oh, here he goes. It's hard to explain. Okay. All right, then. It's hard to explain. That's what someone says when they don't have a good argument. I know. I don't even smoke weed, bruh. I can't smoke weed now. But I mean, I would never smoke weed and try to do a panel. That'd be crazy, dude. I'd probably be all like shy, be all nervous and weirded out. I should try it maybe when I get off probation, though. Actually, be fun just to see how it goes. Yeah, let's see. What else have I eaten? Trying to think of all the crazy stuff I've eaten. Shrimp, which is like the cockroach of the ocean, but I mean shrimp are good. Trout, I love trout, rainbow trout. Used to eat a lot of trout when I was a kid. We used to fish in the Platte River. I didn't caught my own fish once. I put my own. I remember I was like, how old was I? I was probably like 8. My dad was all proud of me. I put my own hook on, my own bait, casted it, caught my own fish and everything, dude. But now I'm more like humanitarian. Like I don't even like fishing. I don't like hunting. And I know like it's more humane to hunt because, it's better. At least the animal got to live a life, you know what I mean? Not like on a cattle, like on a farm. And I eat meat, but I don't know. I don't like killing things. I just don't. And then like they were doing this research. I was reading this article on fish, and fish go through trauma. Like just because something doesn't have a high IQ doesn't mean it doesn't go through trauma. So think about like if something just grabbed you, some hook, you thought you were going to go get a snack on a tree or something, dude. And like it hooked you in the mouth and like ripped you out into the ocean and like drug you under there, dude, for like a couple of minutes. And then like, even if it set you free, then it threw you back into the land, like how traumatized you'd be over that. Like that's what fish go through. So, it's like torture. So I don't know. I just feel, they say like a lot of people have their spiritual awakening, they become vegetarians. I'm not quite to that point yet, but I mean, I definitely do. You ever watch that like Food Inc. or those food shows on like Netflix and stuff, dude? Oh man, it makes you like, especially China, dude. China is the worst, bro. I mean, America's bad too, but China is bad. Like America is bad in the where they raise them. Terrible living conditions, right? It's terrible. It's torture, dude. These animals their whole life is a torture. Especially like veal too. You guys know what veal is, right? They take the calf and like they don't let it move. It like lives in this tent where it can never move its whole life so that it stays really tender. Like that's its life, dude. It's just, oh man, it's disgusting. I won't never eat veal. But like China, they're fucked up in the way that they actually serve it in the restaurant. Like they eat stuff alive. Like they eat like live frog. Like they eat it while it's alive, dude. It's like, I could never do some shit like that, dude. That's fucked up. That's like some barbaric shit. So cats or dogs, who are you asking? You asking Splatter or are you asking me? Because I don't know if I've said, I mean, I'm obviously dogs, you know what I mean? I'm dog fans over here. I love fishing, but I don't sport fish. I eat what I catch. I make some incredible fried fish, I bet. But you throw it back if it's not big enough though, right? Or do you just keep everything? Jenny, yeah, cats taste all right, but dogs are better. Yeah, dude, like in China, man, like I was watching this show. It was on HBO when I was a kid. It was like in the 90s about, it's kind of like one of those Netflix shows they do now about, it was in China, dude. And what they do to these cats is they take these cats, man, and they take them and they just dump them in boiling water for like 20 seconds. And then they take the cat after the boiling water out. They got these rubber gloves on and it loosens the fur up and they just rip the fur off. And then he literally just took the cat and like threw him, dude. He didn't like set him in there, like chucked him into the kennel, dude, and like closed it, dude. So he can just be like hanging out in there ready for slaughter, dude. Like, damn, dude, that's fucked up. And the same thing with like lobsters, man. I don't eat lobster because the way they cook them, dude, they just throw them in the boiling water, like straight up, like alive and all that, dude. Fuck that, man. Can't do that. You know, like I kind of think sometimes I'm like, okay, God could have made this is a simulation. You know what I mean? Like even scientists, all right, are saying this is a simulation. Like we're in a computer simulation here, guys. And you find glitches in the matrix all the time, right? You know, dimension slips, all of a sudden you're walking down the same path, all of a sudden there's a tree there that wasn't there last time, you know, stuff like that, right? It's a simulation, right? And with lots of different parallel realities and stuff. But it's like God could have made any reality anyway. You know, the only reason that we have to eat to survive is because that's what the program requires, right? It's like when you're playing Mario Brothers, in order to get firepower, you have to get a flower, right? In order to get big, you have to eat a mushroom, right? It's part of the program. In order to survive, you have to kill another animal and then consume it, like eat it, and like goes into your body and digests. And like, think about that, dude. Like how like fucked up that is, man. You know, like it doesn't have to be a thing. Like, what if we just were never hungry? You know what I mean? I don't understand why that is. Like sometimes it makes me wonder about God or the designer of this universe. You know what I mean? The designer of the matrix, the designer of the simulation. It's like messed up, dude. Like, you know, in the spiritual realm, you don't eat. I don't think you do anyways. You don't like eat food. Very rare occasion I'll toss a fish back. I once caught a carp and I had no idea how to cook it. Gave it to a Vietnamese friend and the dish he made was incredible. Really? I heard like carp was like, you're not supposed to eat that because they eat like, you know, they eat all, like all the disgusting ass shit like on the bottom of the lake. And they're easy, dude. You could catch carp with like popcorn, dude. Like they just come up, man. You could like just throw a popcorn on a hook, bro, and then just take a net and just like scoop them all in, dude. Those are like easy as fuck to catch. Law of the conversation of energy. We have to get energy through consumption. I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's because I know it's a law or conservation of energy, not conversation. But that's what I'm saying. It's only a law of the universe because it's a law. It's in the program though, right? Like I said, and when you're playing Mario, in order to get big, you have to eat a mushroom. This is in the program. It's programmed that way. So it didn't have to be programmed that way. You know what I mean? Because dude, when I watch like, you know, you watch like National Geographic and some people like that shit, dude, where that the lions are like killing the antelopes and all that stuff. I always root for the antelope to get away. And like, I've seen some messed up stuff too on those shows. Like I saw this one, you know, those, they're like ox or something like that. They're like the African bulls. And one was stuck in like a mud pit, like couldn't move. It was like quicksand or something. He was just like stuck in there. And there was a lioness on top of his back, just hanging out up there, like eating him alive, bro. I'm like, dude, that's fucked up, man. Like, think about that's a living, conscious animal, dude. Like, something had to like literally go through that. Like, people just think, oh, it's not a big deal because it's not you. Like, what if that was you, man? Yeah, they're algae eaters. Asian people eat the crap out of crap. That's true. They do. They eat all that kind of weird stuff. Certain cultures, man, like black people and, you know, Mexicans do it too. Like menudo. I never eat no damn menudo. I'm not eating that shit. What is that? Like pig intestine or something like that? I ain't eating that. And then like black people eat pig's feet and like pig ears, like all the parts that you're not supposed to eat. Like maybe it tastes good. I don't know, but I wouldn't know. I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to try. It's like I'm not going to try an anchovy. Like, oh, but they're so good. Like, I ain't eating no fucking anchovy, dude. They're disgusting. You ever seen an anchovy? They're all like hairy. They got like hairs. I don't know if they're hairs, but they look all hairy and shit. Nah. You know, and damn, they smell gross. You don't like that. Me too. I can't even watch that stuff. Yeah. You know, it's like, that's more of probably my feminine side to me. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I have a more healthy balance of masculine and feminine energy. And that's part of my feminine side. I don't like that kind of shit. There was another thing too, on like those National Geographic shows. Oh, that's another thing. Like a lot of guys too, when they're driving like on residential roads and stuff, when the squirrel's crossing, they'll like try to hit it. I don't fucking do that, dude. I'll go slow down all the way to a fucking stop and like make sure the squirrel, because I know he's going to run out there, dude. And I'm going to hit him and I'll stop and then he'll get scared and he'll go back the other way. I stopped on a fucking main road once, dude. Like there was a squirrel and I saw him. It wasn't like a main road, but it wasn't a residential road either. And I saw a squirrel, dude. He's ready to cross, dude. And I fucking stopped and I just made sure everyone was cool. I was like, I'm not crossing until this squirrel does something, dude. And then he went back and I was like, all right, let's go. I saw Mario Kart in real life when I ate mushroom once before. Yeah, I feel you, bro. Yeah. Yeah, one of those magic mushrooms. I've had sheep fries, sheep testicles. I wasn't informed as to what they were until after eating them, but to be honest, they weren't half bad. You know, like, well, you heard of a Rocky Mountain oyster? That's it's a bull ball. It's a Rocky Mountain oyster, and apparently they taste delicious. But I mean, I would never know because I'm not eating that. That's like some what is that? It's like some Fear Factor shit. Remember that? They'd always eat like antelope penis and stuff. Oh hell no, dude. I mean, think about it, dude. You're probably, it's like eating cum. You're like, it's got sperm in it. I mean, it's probably not cum in there, but like the fluid, but like you're probably eating like sperm. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe for a chick, it's not as bad, but like for me, it's not. Like maybe if I guess maybe if I was like to eat, I don't know. And now we're getting too graphic, but you know, if it was like a girl part, maybe it wouldn't be as bad to me. But you stop for even birds. The birds usually are smart enough to they fly away faster. But yeah, like over here in Colorado, we get all those geese, you know, and those stubborn ass motherfuckers. They're supposed to be not really be that smart. But like, you know, they'll just stand in the middle of the road and like, you know, like stop traffic for miles and shit. I mean, I'm not going to run over them. They're actually protected. Dude, one time I took my dogs to the park and it used to be, you could have your dogs off the park here, just park down the road, but they changed it to, you have to have them on a leash, but that wasn't this lady's issue. It was, there's a whole bunch of geese there and Loaf was like running after the geese. You know, he wasn't like hurting them or nothing like that, dude. And, you know, he's just being a little dog. He's a little 7-pound dog. And this lady's carrying, you know, those geese are protected. You can get in trouble for that. I was like, okay, like my dog's not hurting the geese, dude. Has he attacked them? Or those geese are literally outweigh my dog by like 15 pounds. Those geese probably weigh like 20, 25 pounds, dude. What are you talking about? I don't know how much they weigh. Probably weigh at least 15, at least double his weight. Like, trust me, my dog's not messing up with these geese, lady. Chill out. No, I've never tried snails. I try and stop for animals, but have bad luck with them crossing when I'm going 60. You like to speed? You got a lead foot? Me too. Yeah, all life is valuable. I agree. Are you a vegetarian, Splatter? See, like I'm not a vegetarian, but like I wish I could be, but I also do stuff like I try to do my best. Like I eat I buy organic meat from the store, or at least I try to the most of the time. I buy organic eggs, not just like the cage-free ones, like that's or like the cage-free ones are free range. That doesn't mean shit. That means like they went from like a little pen, like where they can barely move to like, you know, a little 4 foot by 3 foot pen. It's like barely, that's like cage-free. You know what I mean? But I buy the organic eggs, like the expensive ones, and they taste good. Like if you buy the Heritage Farms one, it's like a blue carton. It's got blue and brown eggs in it. The egg yolks are like, they're orange. They're like a really dark orangey red. They're not like this little light yellow, and they have so much more flavor. They're healthier. They taste better. I don't even need salt on those eggs. They're so flavorful. But I'll do stuff like that so that I know the chickens didn't aren't being like, suffering. It's more natural. I buy the organic ground beef, stuff like that. I try to. The chicken, I try to buy organic chicken. I know it's way more expensive. It sucks, but I try to do what I can. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever want to buy like Tyson. That's like one of the worst ones, dude. They're so inhumane. Okay, I see what you're saying. 55, stay alive, right? What was that? Reagan? Was that, or not Reagan? Reagan? They did that? Was that what it was? Remember when the speed limit was like 55? You were probably not even around for that. Forgot you're a youngster, bud. Yes, fresh farm eggs hit different. Dude, they hit different, man. Those blue eggs. Oh, man. But even though they had the brown ones too, they're called Heritage Farms. It's out here at $7.99 for a dozen. But dude, if you're not into spending a bunch on eggs, just do it for one time, just to try it. Like for a treat or something, dude, and fry yourself an egg. Fry it up for breakfast. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. And then my brother-in-law, his parents, they have a bunch of chickens, dude. And like, I remember when I saw a fried egg, the first time I saw it, and I was like, what's up with that egg, dude? It was like, I'm not used to it. The yolks were, like I said, like a bright orange. Because I'm used to yolks being like yellow, like, like faint yellow. And like, oh, these are the good eggs and stuff. And I remember my brother-in-law telling me, oh yeah, these are the eggs, blah, blah, blah. And then they were buying these eggs. I can't remember the brand, but the ones that Vital Farms, they were buying Vital Farms. Like, yeah, Vital Farms is good, guys, but you got to try Heritage Farms or whatever it is. And she's like, okay, because my sister, they're all into that stuff too. They buy all this organic meat. And my sister's like, oh, you were right. Those Heritage Farms one ain't no joke. And they're just like the ones that my brother-in-law has on the farm. The super dark, like orange ones. Not a veg, but I feel bad eating meat. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, bro. I'm the same way. And here's the thing too, like about meat, is meat sometimes tastes delicious, but like meat wouldn't taste that. It wouldn't be that great if you didn't have salt. Right? Think about it. Like, cook yourself up a hamburger, dude, and don't use any fucking seasoning at all. And just eat it. Would you like really enjoy it that much? But oh yeah, this is fucking delicious. Like vegetables are good just straight up. I mean, they're better with, you can add salt to them and flavor and stuff, ranch, whatever, but they're more enjoyable just eating raw than like, I think a steak would be, the unseasoned steak. I think that would be disgusting. So that's another reason why I'm thinking, are humans really supposed to eat meat? I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. But humans are the only animals that have to cook their food, cook their meat. No other animal that eats meat on Earth has to cook it first. So maybe we're not supposed to eat meat. Every single carnivore has teeth that are, like dog teeth. Humans, we have vegetarian teeth, the flat ones. We don't have carnivore teeth. So maybe we're not supposed to eat meat. I don't know. It's a theory. But yeah, like I said, I was just thinking the other day, because like some steaks, like I got this reservation for this like bomb ass steakhouse in Colorado Springs for Valentine's for me and Sweet Tea. And I've been to these bomb ass steakhouses, dude. And like, it's amazing. It's like, I love these steakhouses. It's like $80 for one steak. It's so bomb, but dude, what if they just took that meat and they didn't put any flavoring, nothing on it, and they just threw it in, cooked it up, dude? It'd be gross. You'd be like repulsed by it. I think so. I'd be like, man, this ain't good at all, dude. It's disgusting. Wouldn't even want to eat it. I think it's organic. Like the organic ground beef that I get, it's like this really dark red color. It's like a maroon. And then also when you're smashing it up, when you're browning your hamburger, it's like this, it's very flaky. It's like a different texture also. It is. But I don't know, the Kroger one though, that I get, it's like, it changes. Like because Sweet Tea had this ground beef that she got from her dad, like, you know, they would go and buy like a half cow. You know, you go get like I want this cow, and they slaughter it, and then she get like a half or whatever, a full one, whatever you get. And her dad gave her a whole bunch of like this ground beef, and we had this ground beef, and it was like that super dark, like maroon color. And I remember I was cooking it up, and it was like that really flaky texture. And I was like, oh, this is different than the organic beef we bought at King Soopers. It like flakes really easy. You know, it grounds up real easy when you're grounding it with the spatula, right? It's not like the other ground beef. It's kind of like the non-organic kind. It's like, I don't know, it's like sticky or something. You know what I mean? It takes a while. But that's kind of how the organic one was. And I was like, it's not the same. So maybe that was kind of a label thing. You know what I mean? But now I've been noticing all of a sudden it changed. Now it's like the stuff that Sweet Tea had. It's like really dark and like flaky like that. So I think it is real. At least it is now for sure. I mean, you can tell too, because it tastes kind of gamey. And like ground beef, I don't really notice. It's not enough notice for me to like notice a difference and be like, oh, it tastes gamey. It's very minute. But like if you eat a steak though, like I said, my brother-in-law and my sister, they're all into that organic stuff. And they eat all organic, grass-fed steaks. And they taste gamey, dude. Like I don't like it because you got to get used to it. That's the way it's supposed to taste. Because cows are supposed to eat grass. They're not supposed to eat corn, right? So they're supposed to taste that way. But if we ate grass-fed beef our whole life, and then all of a sudden we started eating corn, we'd be like, oh, this is disgusting, right? That's what we would think. So you got to get used to it. That's what they said. Like, I know we thought that too, but you got to get used to it. So, and it is healthier for you. And the only reason they feed cows corn instead of grass is because it's cheaper, right? So it's cheaper to feed them grass, get a bigger yield out of it. But here's the thing about ground beef. Ground beef's the worst to buy if it's not organic or not grass-fed because it has E. coli in it. So what do? It has E. coli in it because of the corn diet that they feed the cows. They could easily get rid of the E. coli just by feeding them grass, but then they get a smaller yield, right? It's not as good. It doesn't fatten them up as much and all that. So what they do is they wash it with ammonia. It's a chemical, like a cleaning chemical, dude. They wash ground beef that you eat with ammonia to kill the E. coli out of it, dude. It's so bad, dude. You should never eat that shit. It's so bad for you. So that's the main reason why I'll never buy. I mean, I'll eat it sometimes. Like if I'm at a barbecue, I'm not gonna be like, was this grass fed? And I'm gonna be a snobby like that. Everything in moderation. Like occasional is fine, but like I'm not eating that shit. And I don't feed my dogs that shit because I feed my dogs ground beef a lot. I cook it up for them. They're not eating that shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad while eating it. I don't like think about it that way. But like when you start realizing, like thinking about where it comes from and like, dude, go spend a day in a slaughterhouse, man. Just go hang out there for a day and like witness it. I mean, all you got to do is just watch that show I was talking about on Netflix, bro. Pigs are highly intelligent animals. They're way smarter than dogs. You can teach pigs to do everything that a dog can do in like half the time. They say they're about the intelligence of a 4-year-old. Think about how smart a 4-year-old child is. That's how smart pigs are. And pigs, they know when they're getting slaughtered. And like I saw this show, the thing I was telling you, and they're scared. They know they're getting slaughtered, dude. And like they refuse to go and they won't go. And like the guys are like people that work in those slaughterhouses, dude, they're fucking psychopaths. They have no empathy whatsoever. You can't. They're fucking kicking them and like punching them. And they take the what's it called? The taser thing, and they like tase them and shit. And some of them will just go. But I remember there was this one pig that like was refusing. He was like standing up for his life, dude. He didn't want to die. And like the guy was such a psychopath, dude. He just like no empathy, man. He's like, oh, like a cop, dude. Like, oh, you don't want to listen to my authority and go and get slaughtered. And he fucking like got on top of this pig and he just fucking sat there and like electrocuted the motherfucker for like a long fucking time, dude, until he was like fucking wore out. And then he kicked the fucking pig, dude, and over there, man. Like that's the fucking bacon you're eating, bro. And like I eat it too, but like put it in perspective, man. Like when you think about it that way, like what these animals are going through is you can have like an endorphin hit when you're eating it. That sounds similar to ground up deer meat. It's kind of flaky. When I process deer, I add bacon to my ground deer meat to add some fat and it's still less fatty than lean ground beef. Okay. So like so the deer it's more of a lean. It's lean. Cuz like I get the 85% cuz I like 80%, but in the organic kind, the most fatty you can get is 85. And cuz fat's flavor, dude, and like the more fat, like the better it tastes. I've even had the 70%, but that's like super greasy, dude. But like it's weird because this is 85% that I get, but even when you ground it, like you don't have to drain the grease out. It's just like it's different. It's different kind of meat. Like it's 5% less than the 80, but like it's not that much more or less or more actually. But like the 80%, when you ground the ground beef, like there's a ton of grease in there. You have to drain that shit. I never drain it on this one. So it's just like it's different. I don't eat pigs. I know. And I try not to. Like I do eat bacon sometimes. Actually just bought some bacon. I already cooked it up, but thinking when I found out about how smart pigs are, yeah, but I mean, even cows or anything, dude, any animal, dude, antelope, rabbit, all that, dude. It's all this. It doesn't matter really how smart you are. Intelligence shouldn't make a difference. They're still feeling the pain. They're still feeling the trauma. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter your intelligence level. Like saying, oh, we can, if you have a 75 IQ, you can find for them to be slaves if they're humans, right? They're only 75 IQ. They can be slaves, right? Like, but 95 and up IQs, they're too smart. They can't be slaves. Go pass a law. If you're average IQ, you can't be a slave. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the same thing. Deer are very, very lean meat. Okay. I guess so. Yeah. If you look at a deer, they're super lean, huh? You know what else is really lean meat is bison, which can have it can be not as good too, but like it's got a good flavor to it. It's a good beef. You know what I mean? I think it's like 90% lean. It's pretty lean. Like Bison Burgers, this place that used to sell bison burgers is really good. Yeah, buffalo's lean. But, that's what I was going to say. I like to eat my meat in like the most respectful way I can and be thankful that this animal gave its life so that I can continue mine. Not that I have to eat meat to survive though, but like the Native Americans did it. You know what I mean? Like they would get their kills and they would pray to it and, thank God for this bison giving its life so they can feed its tribe. Like not today. Like I said, that psychopath guy on the Netflix show, dude, they're sick fucks, man, to do that shit. I mean, you basically have to be a sick fuck, dude, to work there. There's no, if every single American had to go fucking like work a full week, 40 hours at a slaughterhouse, dude, and kill the animals and shit, they'd all fucking become vegetarians. If I had to go work in a slaughterhouse, dude, for a week, I'd be a vegetarian. I bet you anything I would. There's no fucking way you could see that shit. Any normal human being has empathy, dude. Like you have to be a psychopath to work there, dude. They're all fucking sickos, man. The way this guy was going after this pig, dude, I'm telling you, man. How could you do that to another animal, dude? I just don't. What's the difference between kicking a pig like that, beating its ass and holding it down and fucking electrocuting it like that, to doing that to a dog? Would anyone be okay with a dog? If you saw some fucking sick fuck over there beating the fuck out of a dog and then electrocuting it and like that, everyone would think he's a sick fuck, right? And they'd beat his ass. But if it's a pig, it's fine, even though pigs are more intelligent than dogs. Exactly. Pay respect to the animal that give its life to feed you and your family. Yep. It's like, you pay respect, you're thankful, maybe you say grace. You do whatever you do. Try to at least be a conscious consumer. you know, and not buy shit that you know that like the shit was tortured. I don't know. I know it's more expensive, but I mean, trust me, if you saw the way that they're treated, you probably wouldn't bat an eye about it. You're like, fuck it, dude. I'll get the generic brand of this stuff now so I can buy this more expensive meat or something, you know? I watched a milk documentary and didn't drink milk for 5 years because of how they are treated. The cows are treated fucked up. So what they have to do is they have to keep these cows continuously pregnant, right? To get them to keep producing milk because they're not designed to produce milk their whole life, only when they're nursing. So they're always pregnant their whole life, dude, and giving birth and milking. And like their nipples are like from constant, their whole lives just being milked. They're like red and swollen and shit. Like, that shit's painful, dude. That shit's not comfortable. Like it's a tortured life, dude. Like they incarnate on this earth, like to live this tortured life, and like it's duality. I guess you have to experience that. And I guess I don't know if you have to experience like everything, which I hope it's not true because I don't want to have to experience that stuff. But like, you know, if you're a human being, you've already lived all that stuff. Human beings are like the top. If you're a human being, you're almost done having to come back here to Earth, you know. Either you're on your last life, or maybe, you know, maybe you still got another 50 lives to go as a human. I don't know. But you've lived thousands upon thousands of lives. You know, you were an ant, and you were a dog, and you were a fish, and, you know, according to Dolores Cannon, you were a rock. You were a rock. Everything has consciousness. Dolores Cannon's not a nut job, dude. She's a highly respected spiritual teacher. You should check her out. A lot of what I teach on the Empirical Miracle channel, and I say stuff about on here, I learned from her. Yeah, but I mean, dairy is not really supposed to be good for you anyways. Like human beings aren't supposed, think about it. You're not supposed to eat. We're the only animal that drinks the milk of other animals, or, you know, eats dairy products that comes from milk of another animal. And the best diet is supposed to be like the caveman diet, which is, you know, meat. If we're even supposed to eat meat, I don't know if there's any evidence that they ate meat. I mean, they had spears. They found like, you know, spears and stuff like that. But I mean, that could have been just protect themselves from other tribe members. But let's say it's meat. Meat, vegetables, fruit, and nuts. You'll be the healthiest eating that. No processed food, no grains, like no bread. You shouldn't eat bread. Human beings should get their energy not from carbs. They should get it from fat. We're designed to burn fat for energy. So like natural healthy fats, avocado, you know, meat is good fats, eggs, stuff like that. Nuts have good fats in them. So that's where you're supposed to get your energy, not carbs. I mean, like vegetables have carbs, but they're a different kind of carb. It's a complex carbohydrate. It's not just like a carbohydrate from like bread. You know, like brown rice is a complex carbohydrate. You know, sweet potatoes. I moved away from animal milk when I realized how much sugar it has in it. I remember you were telling me, it's funny. I just literally remember, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about my manifestation abilities are getting like through the roof again. I'm noticing that. And like just literally last night, I was drinking some milk and I was thinking about you, dude, because of you telling me about how all the sugar that's in it. I didn't realize how much sugar was in it. And then here you are today, one day later. The rare times I have milk, it's nut milk. Okay. I don't know if I've ever had nut milk. I don't think so. Like almond milk. but I know milk is it's a good quality source of protein. Like I said, that's why I drink it for my protein shakes. I actually do drink a lot of milk. But I actually did a allergy test, and I'm not lactose intolerant per se, but I do. It's like on the verge of it. I'm not really like super good at dairy stuff, but I can still eat dairy. But eggs are the best quality protein you could eat for putting on muscle, though. I think we probably talked about this. There's this guy that said that if you could eat 100 eggs a day, it'd be the same as taking steroids, because your testosterone would be so fucking high if you could eat 100 eggs a day, because cholesterol is a precursor for testosterone, and eggs have good cholesterol in them. Cholesterol, there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Has a lot of good cholesterol in them. And again, cholesterol by itself isn't bad for you. People say, oh, you got to keep your cholesterol down, clog your arteries. Well, your arteries only get clogged because you have a vitamin C deficiency, because vitamin C repairs your arterial walls. So if you lack vitamin C in your diet, your arteries could get weak. And then your body is so smart that it's thinking, okay, I'm going to use this cholesterol since the arteries are weak. I'm going to use this cholesterol as like a plaster, and I'm going to plaster it against the artery walls to make them stronger, because your body's thinking it's better to die 10 years from now from a clogged artery than tomorrow from a ruptured artery. So vitamin C is good. Good for you. Okay. No shellfish. Fish that has fins and scales. Why no shellfish? I love shellfish. I mean, I like crab, and I don't eat lobster because, like I said, I don't even think lobster's that good, but because of the way they cook it. And I don't eat lobster, but I do eat crab and I do eat shrimp. Oat milk is awesome. I don't know if I've had maybe I have had oat milk. I think I tried oat milk once. I tried oat milk or almond milk once. I have trouble finding it, so I opted for almond. Okay. I think you can get oat milk at Kroger. Oats in general are like superfood. The fatter the milk, the less sugar. Whole milk is the best if you're watching your sugar/carbs, but I personally believe cow's milk is bad for us. Yeah, cow's milk is probably not the best for you. It has a lot of protein in it. Human milk actually has the least amount of protein. Human beings aren't really designed to eat a whole high protein diet. They're really not. Human milk has 1 gram of protein per serving. Cow's milk has like 8 grams. And yes, the fattier the milk, you should never, I drink whole milk. You should never drink 2% milk, 2 grams net carbs, right? Reduced fat. All that shit is fucking bad for you, dude. Like the process that they use to make take the fat out of the milk is really bad for you. And like fat is not bad for you guys. Like in the 90s, remember, it was like fat. Oh, only 2 grams fat, because stuff that makes you fat. Well, it's got fat right in it. You know what I mean? Like there's the fat. The fat doesn't make you fat. I mean, it can if you eat like way too much of it. But fat, again, your body is designed to burn fat for energy, not carbs. So carbs are really the bad thing that make you fat. Carbs and sugar. Because I mean, carbs are just sugar. It's just carbs break down into sugar. Right? Like if you take a saltine cracker and just put it in your mouth and just don't swallow it, just let it sit there in your mouth for a while, it'll eventually start tasting sweet because your saliva will be breaking it down into sugar. That's all. Carbs are just sugar. Like you see 30 grams carbs, just replace that with 30 grams sugar. That's what it is. It's just not broken down yet. So fat's not bad for you. It's good for you. Like when I buy my yogurt, because for my protein shakes, I use plain, no sugar added. It's just plain yogurt. It's the kind that's, I remember the brand name, but it's got like 17 grams of protein per 3/4 of a cup. It's really high protein. But I buy the whole milk kind, not the 2% or the skim. That's not good for you. Don't drink, like people drink, I drink diet soda. It's got that aspartame in it, or aspartame or saccharin, all that stuff. That shit's so bad for you. And you know, one of the side effects of drinking Diet Coke is obesity. It messes with the bio, what is it? The bio something of your body. And it makes you fat. I don't remember how it works, but I remember seeing like watching the videos on it. It makes you fat. You're actually better off. Like if you want to keep your sugar down, like if you have diabetes, you want to drink, something sweet every now and then, fine. But, if you're trying to keep your fat down and you drink, a diet soda a month, because, I want something sweet, but I don't want to eat sugar, that's okay. But like, if you're like, oh, I'm just going to drink, 4 or 5 Diet Cokes a week, it's fine because there's no sugar. That's actually literally going to make you more fat in the long run. Really. It's not good for you. You'd be better off straight up just drinking regular sugar, Pepsi or Coke. So if you think you're doing yourself a favor by drinking Diet Coke, you're number one, making yourself fatter if you drink a lot of it. Number two, you raising your chances of getting cancer, dude. That shit's so bad for you. Vitamin D deficiency causes lethargy and depression. Why do you think that prisoners are so depressed? Why do you think they get depressed? Well, of course, because they're, locked in a little cage, but also they don't see sunlight. I mean, that's where you get vitamin D. You get sunlight. You can get like from like pills, like you can get it from different sources, like carrots, I think have vitamin D, but like really you get vitamin D from the sun. I couldn't do no shellfish. I love shrimp too much. Yeah, I like shrimp. I like shrimp with cocktail sauce, the spicy kind. And I like shrimp scampi's, really good. One of my favorites. Fried shrimp, all the shrimp, dude. Can't go wrong with shrimp. John, my son, loves oat milk and oatmeal too. Oatmeal's good. Like there's certain oatmeal, steel cut oatmeal is good. It's a really good pre-workout. Eat that before your workout for energy. It's carbs, but like you're better off eating fat. Like avocado is really good for a pre-workout, but it's good. Steel cut oats are good. You could do like that instant oatmeal, with like the real high sugar, that stuff's good, tastes good. It's just not like a good quality oatmeal though. Exactly, because I don't eat carbs. I need the fat. You don't eat carbs? You do like a Atkins or a, what's it called now? Not Atkins. They changed it. What's it called now? I don't know what the difference is, but it used to be called Atkins. Now it's, what's it called? Somebody will say. I've done it before. I know the name of it. But when you go on that diet, keto, thank you. When you go keto, I've done keto before, and you go about 2 weeks and you go what's into called ketosis, where keto comes from. And it's where your body no longer recognizes carbs as its main source of energy because you've deprived it of carbs for so long and sugar, that it now recognizes fat as its energy source. And you get all this energy, and it's like a natural high. It's like you're high, like a natural high. You just feel good. It's a good feeling, man. Because like I said, you're designed that now your body's like burning fuel the way it's designed to burn it. Again, you're not supposed to eat carbs, bread, tortillas, all that shit. I mean, you can eat some carbs, you can eat like beans, and like I said, like broccoli has carbs. Those are good carbs. Those are like complex carbohydrates. So it's crazy. I've done it before, but I don't stay on it. Like people are like, oh, well, you go keto, but then as soon as you start eating carbs again, you gain all the weight back. Well, yeah, it's not a crash diet. Like keto is designed to be a lifetime commitment. It's a lifestyle. It's the way your body's designed to eat food. It's keto. Anything artificial is bad. Yep. Like that Splenda's, I don't think not as bad, but like with that Sweet and Low, oh man, that shit's so bad for you, dude. Aspartame, saccharin, all that stuff. Cheese. American cheese, I stopped eating American. I still have some because actually my mom was over here and she bought a pack. So I've been eating it like sometimes, but now I just like to use just straight up cheddar because that cheese, it doesn't burn. You ever seen those videos where you try to burn a piece of cheese? It won't melt. It just burns. It like turns black and shit. It doesn't like drip. It doesn't get melty. And I was like, well, I eat that Kraft Deluxe kind. And it's like, it's made with like whole milk instead of oil or something like that. It's like better. It tastes better. The Kraft Deluxe kind. It's like really more expensive, but I was like, well, this is probably stuff. This stuff's made with real milk, not oil. So I tried burning it. It didn't. It just burned. It didn't melt. It just turned black, like crispy and shit, like plastic. It smells weird. It smells like you're burning fucking plastic. I think there's like plastic in it or some shit like that. It's not food. Like the food that they give us, it's not even like real food. You go look at like Pizza Pockets or Hot Pockets, pizza rolls, frozen pizza, all that shit, like anything frozen, like that ready to eat shit, like TV dinners and all that shit. It'll say made with bioengineered food. It's not real food. It's not food. I've been doing these overnight oat things, being able to meal prep them, and the versatility is great. Easy, high protein breakfast that you don't have to think about making in the morning. Yeah, see, that's the best way to do it. The meal prep things, that's a lot of guys do that when they're, bodybuilding and stuff, is they'll cook like a whole pack of chicken, you know what I mean? And then like meal prep it so it's ready to go because it's hard to get all that protein in, dude. That's why I do casein because I don't want to cook. I hate cooking and then cooking all that food. I do casein a lot throughout the day to make sure I get my protein, and I've never had an issue putting on size or muscle or strength doing it that way. But I mean, food is better than protein shakes for sure. You're always better off with food, but real food. I read a book called Protein Powder when I was in my 20s, and I've followed it ever since. What's protein powder about? I drink whey protein isolate for my post-workout. Whey protein isolate, I've seen dudes. This one dude, and I was an electrician, he was drinking whey protein isolate. I was like, what kind of protein shake you drinking, bro? And he's like, oh, whey protein isolate. He's like, I just drink it to get, extra protein throughout the day. I was like, dude, whey protein isolate's like the most expensive. And you're wasting your money, right? Like whey protein isolate, it's called isolate because it's isolated into the very last thing before it becomes usable protein, just like carbohydrates. Remember I said that they're carbohydrates and then it breaks down into sugar and then into energy. So there's like a process before a carb turns into energy, goes into sugar, then energy, right? Then you have concentrate, which goes to concentrate. Whey protein concentrate goes to concentrate, then to isolate, then to usable protein. So it's like a process. So it's still fast, concentrate, but not as fast as isolate. So it only takes about 45 minutes to digest whey protein isolate into usable protein. So if within 45 minutes, your body can't really digest, the 25 grams of protein that you're giving it within 45 minutes. It takes longer. So you're just pissing it out. Maybe you get 5 grams. It's a waste of money, dude. So the reason why you take it after your workout is because immediately when you're done with your workout, like last set, boom, slam your whey protein isolate. Because about an hour, I don't know what it's called. Somebody might know, actually, John might know, but there's a window. It's about 45 minutes to an hour where your body, after your workout, where your body is very susceptible to absorbing nutrients. So right after your workout, you can absorb 25 grams of protein from whey protein isolate. It goes immediately into your muscles to fuel your muscles up. So that's why you do that, the whey protein isolate, immediately after a workout. But you don't drink whey protein isolate, the most expensive one, just throughout the day, dude. Like that's a waste. You drink casein. Casein's slow. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to digest protein into usable protein. So that's why people drink it like before bed. So, they're sleeping because you're fasting when you're sleeping. So you can get protein in your body. But I drink because sometimes I don't eat until like later in the day. So I'll drink casein. Oh, it's the keto diet? Protein powder. It's called protein powder, the keto diet book. I mean, you're in ketosis then, right? So you know what I'm talking about, right? About that natural high and like having a lot of energy. Oh yeah, within 30 minutes to an hour after workout is the best time for your protein shake. Yes, and Direct E was over here and we went and worked out together and he was saying, oh no, you have about an hour to drink it after your workout. And I'm like, no, that's not true though, because you only have an hour window after your workout to absorb those nutrients though. So if you wait 45 minutes to drink the protein shake, well, now you only got 15 minutes left of your high absorption rate. See, so that's why you want to literally slam the whole thing as fast as you can immediately, like before you stretch, because I stretch after my workout. But the first thing I do, or I know I'm winding down, like I'm getting close to my last set, I mix my protein shake, mix it up, and then I'll start drinking it right then. And I'll do my last set, and then I'll slam the rest of it. So bam, it's done. Then I go stretch. You know what I mean? I don't stretch and kind of take my time and drink it. And I'm in the truck driving home still sipping on it. Nah, man. Boom. And like I learned this from number one, research, and I actually had a personal trainer specifically tell me that. He wasn't my personal trainer. He was a personal trainer at the gym. And I went and asked him a question, just like to pick his mind about stuff. And he told me that. He's like, dude, literally last set, slam your ice lid, bro. And then boom, you're good to go. You don't want to sit there and like lollygag it and like, oh, I have an hour to drink it. Or like John said, I got 30 minutes to drink this. No, dude, you do. I mean, like you have about 45 minutes to an hour, but I mean, you want to get it in as fast as you possibly can. Anabolic window. Yes, I knew you would know. It's the anabolic window. Oh, look, I found my purple one. Where'd this come from? Remember I was looking for it earlier? This one's Meta Moon. It's pretty good. It just showed up, dude. Is that a dimension slip right there? I wonder how this ended up over here. That I must have grabbed it when I went over there. But you know those Larry's cookies? You ever had those, John? Those protein cookies? They're called like Larry's. It looks like Larry, like Mo Curly and Larry. That's what it looks like. I think that maybe that's where they get it from. Now that I just thought of that. But those cookies are bomb, dude. They're like, they only got like 30 grams protein for a full cookie. I love those things. I'm bad at stretching. I was a trainer for many years and I've always been bad about it. Oh, really? Well, girls are usually naturally they are naturally more flexible than guys. So maybe you don't need to stretch as much. But like I'm really tight and I gotten way more tight since I've gotten older. And like, I'm actually not bad now. My left hamstring used to be really tight and my left side for whatever reason is tighter. No, but my left side for whatever reason, especially on the lower half, is tighter. So I have to work extra hard on that. And I got to the point now where like, because I had to go to physical therapy once, a few times actually, for like pulled muscles. And like, oh, you're really tight. So like I have to work hard. And I'm still not that flexible, but I'm more flexible than I would be if I never stretched. So I have to stretch a lot. Calves, quads. My quads are actually pretty good now. I don't really have to stretch them too much. But my calves are always really tight. My hamstrings are always really tight. I think they're the hip flexors, the ones on the outer side. Not the groin, but the other side. Those ones are really tight, especially on the left. Chest is tight. And especially if you're putting on size, you definitely want to flex because then if they're not loose, then you're getting like bulky, you know what I mean? Like tight, and the bigger your muscles get, the less agile you are. You know what I mean? You're not, like those big bulky guys, they got to put on 2 pairs of handcuffs because they're too big. They can't even put their hands behind their back, because they don't stretch enough. I mean, stretching is essential if you're bodybuilding, but I would even go as far as to say it's essential even if you're not bodybuilding. If you never work out, it's essential. Are they good? I've been addicted to Barbells protein bars, best tasting protein bars. I never had Barbells. They're good, dude. I try one, bro. They're the best. You know what I actually used to be in love with, bro, was the Victory bars. Do you ever try those? The Victory bars? Oh man, I love those, man. They were such high in fiber though. If I eat more than 2 a day, it'd give me the shits. I have diarrhea. But I remember I would sometimes eat like 3 a day because they were so good. And then I'd be just like shitting like water. I was like, oh man, these damn Victory bars. They're so good though, especially the peanut butter ones. I do stretch before I run, but that's the only time. You know what you should do? You should actually stretch after you run. Or you know what you should at least do is run for like 10 minutes, then stretch, then finish your run. Because you shouldn't stretch a cold body. Because you can hurt yourself that way too. Your muscles are more, if they're warmed up, your body temperature is higher, they're going to stretch easier than if they're cold. Like when I was doing construction, some of the guys, they'd have us do, it's like, oh, the safety thing. And we do stretching in the beginning. And like, dude, it was like literally 6 a.m. We get to work at 6 a.m. Everyone's like just waking up. Your body's super tight. You're not warmed up. I used to fake stretch. I never fucking stretched. I'd go through the motions, but I'd never get any type of pull. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Because I'm older, man. I'd hurt myself. I'm not young. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. Dude, this is how I'm hurting myself. I never stretch a fucking cold body. And I'm really diligent about warming up now because I used to shoot hoops for my warm up because I hate doing like cardio. It's like a torture. But then it's getting to the point now where I'm getting even older. Like I can't even, because it got to the point where I couldn't just go lift weights anymore. I used to just go straight into the gym, start lifting heavy ass weights. You know what I mean? But now I can't. I had to warm up because I'll hurt myself, pull a muscle. So I shoot hoops, get the blood pumping. But now it's to the point I literally can't even shoot hoops without pulling a muscle. Like if I'll do a crossover, I'll like pull a muscle, or if I jump, I'll pull my calf muscle from jumping. So I have to literally go on 10 minutes on the spin bike because it's super low impact spin bike. And I'll do it about 10 minutes. So I start dripping some sweat. And then that's the warm up for the warm up. And then I can go do, 20, 30 minutes of just shooting hoops. And it's funny because like when I first started, I'm like a total old man. I'm not really very agile, or, I can tell that when you look at a guy that's kind of older and he doesn't really move all that great, like I don't know what I look like, but I feel like that's how I'm moving. And I know I am. But then as my body starts warming up, and I start dripping more sweat from doing the little running around a little bit, then I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I can do some crossovers. I can drive to the hoop, and like, I'm not as quick as I used to be, but I can tell that like, it just takes a lot more warming up to get to that point. That's why they got like guys in the NBA, at the end of their career, they got the spin bike in the back, and they're sitting there warming up so they can stay warm. That's why they do that. Krispy Kreme is the best flavor, 20 grams protein per bar, and they're quite expensive. They're my one extravagance. What are they called again? Barbells? Okay, barbells. I see these things about these protein bars though too, like the protein that you're getting from those is whey protein isolate. I've noticed that because it's cheap. It's not cheap, but it's easy to throw in there, I guess. But like that was what they were putting in the Larry's bars. So I'm like, oh man, it's not really like a good protein for like just trying to get protein throughout the day though. I feel like it's a waste. I don't have like any evidence. Like I haven't done any research on this. I kind of just like the conclusion that I came to from what I've heard, like from the personal trainer, and like why people should drink casein like at nighttime, and why you drink whey protein isolate immediately after your workout. I just feel like eating anything with isolate in it throughout the day, it's kind of like wasted protein. It's not wasted. You're just not going to get as much benefit as if it was a slower releasing protein. Stretching is super important. I picked up a habit of stretching every day when I wake up in bed when I was in the mental hospital. Okay. And see, that's how I hurt myself, dude. Like sometimes I'll notice like I've hurt myself fucking in sleep. I hurt myself sleeping, dude. Like, when you're sleeping and you kind of like wake up for a little bit and you like do a stretch and like I've hurt myself, like pulled a muscle stretching in bed because my body's cold. So I just got to be super careful, dude. I literally, and this is actually not even recent. This was like in my 30s. because I always describe your body in your 30s as when your car hits 100,000 miles. When your car hits 100,000 miles, it still runs great. It just, requires a little bit more maintenance, right? There's still professional athletes playing in their 30s. But that's how it was in my 30s. And I literally pulled a muscle taking a shower. I lifted my foot up to wash my foot, and I pulled my growing muscle by lifting my foot up, dude. And I actually also pulled my hip flexor from fucking lifting my foot up to all kinds of stupid shit as you get older. But now, like in my 40s, bro, like now it's even way more intense. Bro. I can imagine in the 50s. Yoga. My sister used to do hot yoga. And you got to be careful though, too, with, like I was saying, she'll slip your punches about stretching when your body's warm. It's better to stretch when your body's warm, but be mindful, like when you're doing hot yoga, that your muscles will stretch more easily when it's warmed up like that, when you're doing hot yoga. So you can actually overstretch and hurt yourself by doing that because it feels good because your body's warm. And you can overstretch. So be mindful of that, not to overdo it either. You don't want to be stretching super hard because it's not going to really be painful at the time because your body's warm, but you could actually like pull a muscle doing that too. So don't overdo it. Puppy yoga. You got a cramp from scratching an itch. Yeah, puppy yoga sounds cool. I mean, guys that go to yoga, though, they don't go to yoga for the puppies, right? They go to the yoga for the girls, for the downward dog. I mean, dude, NFL players do yoga now. They teach them yoga. It's really good strength training. That shit's hard, dude. Shit ain't easy, man. Yoga. It's like static exercise / stretch. I kept joking about stealing the puppies to the point where they had to check my bags before leaving. Are you serious? They were checking your bags? Actually, dude, I stole a ferret once, dude. My best friend in high school, he had a ferret, and we went to this pet store in the mall, and they had all these ferrets just in the thing. You could pick them up, and he was like, "Oh, let's steal this guy." And I was like, "All right, cool, let's steal him." I just put him in my hoodie and walked out, and we stole this ferret. And I was like, "Dude, what am I gonna do with this guy? I don't know if my parents are gonna let me keep him." He was cool. We named him Slink, and I loved ferrets, dude. And he ended up keeping him because he already had a ferret, and like his parents let him keep him, and we had him for a while, and then he ended up homing him to someone else though. But I remember his name was Slink, dude. I remember I stole him. I was a bad kid, dude, like when I was a teenager. Magnesium is good for muscles. Okay. I literally just started taking magnesium. I had a bunch of it because I know magnesium is good for a lot of stuff. It's good for help you sleep. It's good for it actually helps raise testosterone levels. That's why I had it years ago, but this stuff's old. I started taking it again because I heard it's good for reducing cortisol levels, which is it's a stress hormone. So I started taking it. And then, you know what else is good too? If you have bad joints when you're getting older is glucosamine is really good. I had some knee problems. I started taking glucosamine, and after a couple of weeks, gone, no issues. Because what happens when you get older, like in your knees or your joints, there's fluid in there. It's like a lubricant. And when you get older, your body stops producing as much of that fluid. And so it's not lubricated enough. And glucosamine stimulates the production of that fluid. So that's why glucosamine's good. but I haven't taken glucosamine in years. I haven't needed it. I've been pretty blessed. Like my knees have never had a fucking knee issue. I've been blessed with good knees. The only thing is it runs in my family on my mom's side is shoulders, bad shoulder. Only my right one, my left one, no, because I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed. So I throw a lot. I used to pitch and I played quarterback. I threw a lot. I think that's what did it. I had a torn labrum, had to get a shoulder surgery and everything. Yeah, dude, ferrets are the shit, dude. You know, if you hold them, like you pick them up by their neck, like, you know, like cats do with their what do you call it? They're not called puppies. What are the cats called? The baby cats, whatever they're called. That's what you pick them up like that. That's how the ferrets pick their kids up or whatever. But you pick them up like that. It's what the vets do to get them to open their mouth. If you pick them up by the scruff of their neck right here, their mouth opens automatically. It's like a natural reflex. It's funny. I remember my friend was showing me that. He's like, watch this. And he like picked him up and like he opened it. It doesn't hurt him or anything. It's just like, it's this weird thing they do. It's hilarious. I've punched myself in the face putting my bra on. No chance of slipping that one. So that's just a lack of coordination, Jenny. Because you're the one also. No, was that you or was that slip your punches? Maybe that was actually slip your punches. See, it's a woman thing, dude. You walked into a wall on the first date, remember? Oh, women, dude. And you know what? And that's why I say, guys, because I mean, it's true, right? Women are less coordinated, right? I mean, even the women in here aren't going to argue that, right? And that's why I think women they say women aren't as good at drivers. I think it's because it's a coordination thing. Kittens, duh. I knew it was something like that I would know. Kittens, not puppies. They're kittens. Yo, what's up, Ben? Oh, you broke your middle toe? See, that's the thing. They can't do anything about broken toes. I broke my toe once too. I was drinking. I was with my grandfather, dude. I was like 14 and I convinced him to buy us some alcohol. And I used to convince my grandfather to do all this crazy stuff for me. I convinced him to buy me a pellet gun once, you know, those kind of look like real guns. And like, I took it to high school. I got expelled from high school. And, but anyways, I convinced him to buy some alcohol. I convinced him to buy me a 40. And I drank it and I was like wasted. And like, I freaking ran up. We're in the hotel. We're going snowboarding and skiing the next day. And I slammed my toe on the bed and I broke my toe. Dude, I remember it hurt so bad. And I had to go snowboarding the next day. I was like, it was okay because it's pretty stiff, but like it did hurt. On lunch break, yeah, you know, you work those nighttime shifts, man. Nope. I taped it to the toe beside it and just been hopping around. It's still purple. Yeah. There's not really much you can do. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can tape it to your other toe. Just keep it kind of sturdy. You know what I mean? That's all you can really do for toes. It's kind of like a rib. Like they can't really do anything for a rib. They can't do anything for a rib, a toe, or a collarbone. I think maybe if they break your collarbone and maybe they could put you in a sling or something like that. But like, that's really it. There's nothing like they can really do. You just kind of got to not move it. But I heard the collarbone is one of the most painful things, and ribs too. Because ribs hurt because like every time you breathe, it hurts. It's like constant pain. Anything I broke has been on my right side. So I broke, except for this one, I broke this finger on the left. But I broke my pinky. I think I broke my thumb once too. But my pinky was fat. It's still fatter. And it kind of, see how it's kind of crooked. Broke my pinky playing football once, catching a football, jammed it. Same way I broke this playing basketball, catching a pass. And then I broke my wrist on my right hand. I broke my fifth metacarpal twice from getting into fights. See, I don't have a knuckle right here. It's flat. See, I have one on this side, but this one, no knuckle. My bone here is at a 45. See how there's this bump right here, right there? It's at a 45-degree angle. So the doctor said if I get any more fights, like it's just going to keep breaking. And this is kind of messed up. Is another reason why I hate government. I broke my hand in a fight, and then I had to get surgery and everything. And I just barely got off my cast. It wasn't even 100% healed. And I went to jail, and I had to get into a fight in jail. I didn't want to, but I had no choice, dude. Like, and you get called out in jail, dude. Like, you have to go fight the guy. Like, the guy was like, come on, come to the cell. And like, I can't just be like, oh no, like you have to, dude. So I went in there, and I'm not like a good fighter or anything. I'm not saying anything like that, but I did beat the brakes off this dude. And, I punched him like a whole bunch of times in his face, dude. And with my hand that was messed up, and I broke my hand. I knew I broke my hand, dude. And so the guy this guy was crazy lunatic though, dude. Like, no matter how bad I beat him up, he like wouldn't give up. And there's blood all over the cell, dude. And then like he comes out still trying to fight me. We're out in the pod now. And like he's coming after me, and I know that my hand's broken. I'm like, I can't hit this guy anymore. So he comes after me, dude. And like I'm trying to do like this moves that like without having to punch him. And so like he came after, because he didn't know how to fight at all. He's coming after me all crazy, all stupid like this. And like I just grabbed him by his head and like pulled his head down, and I kneed him in the face, and boom, his whole, like it hurt. You could hear it crack. And like the whole pod was like, oh. And like I thought he was done at that point. And then he still comes after me, dude. And like I was like, dude, somebody fucking get this guy off me, dude, before I fucking hurt this guy, dude. I don't want to fight him anymore. And my friend Dandelo like grabbed, he's this big black dude. And he like grabbed him, like put him in his headlock. Cause like, I'm not big, but my friend Dandelo's huge, dude. And like, he could just manhandle this dude. And he like put him in his headlock and like, you're done. We're done. And then like, you know, they did the investigation. It was a big old fight. And I went and talked to the sergeant at Arapahoe County Jail. And he's like, are you an MMA fighter? And I was like, dude, I was so surprised. Cause like, I've never had any training in fighting. I don't think I'm a good fighter. And so like to hear that was like kind of weird. And I was like, no. He's like, oh, it looks like you do. I was like, oh, really? And I wasn't trying to look, it's because I was trying not to punch him. So I did that like weird move. It was all instinct. And like I said, I just grabbed his by the head and like pulled him down and kneed him in the face. But anyways, the story, what I was saying is that they waited a fucking like 2 weeks to take me to the fucking hospital, dude. I was like, dude, my fucking hand's broken. It was swollen as fuck. By the time they waited 2 weeks to finally get me to Denver Health, like the bone already started healing, and they did the x-rays already a 45-degree angle. It's like, nothing we can do, man. Like it's already healing this way. So now my hand's all fucked up. Like see my hand, like natural resting, my pinky just goes in towards this finger. It's kind of weird. I finally got used to it. It took me a long time, years to get used to it, but it's like off. I don't like that. I broke 3 ribs in my spine and nothing could be done except bed rest. Yeah. You broke your spine? You broke your back? Dang. That must have been like torture, just sitting in bedridden for probably months. Broken ribs hurt quite a bit. I chopped off the tip of a finger in a car door as a kid. You sound like a manly kind of man, dude, John. Like my stepdad, like I was saying that my finger, every single one of his fingers look like this. Every single one, because he's broken all of his fingers. And like he actually chopped his finger off in the lawnmower when he was a teenager. And he chopped it off, and they like took him to the hospital and like reattached it and shit. And it worked. And his finger's a little bit shorter than the other one now. But like he actually chopped another finger off. It's been a while, maybe 10 years ago or something. And just like the tip part though, and not like a lot of it, but like the tip came off. And my mom grabbed it, and they took him to the hospital, and he's like, oh, they're not going to be able to put it back on. And they put it back on, they sewed it back on. They're like, I don't know if it's going to hold, but we'll try. But it did, it stayed. So they saved like the tip of his finger. So he's cut 2 fingers off because he's like such a manly man guy. Like he like never wore a seatbelt for like ever until now. Like, you know, you have to wear a seatbelt, otherwise that beep keeps going off. He's like that, dude. He never wears safety glasses, and he freaking had to go to the doctor because he was grinding some metal or some shit and like got like metal shards in his eye He doesn't want to wear no safety glasses. Like, you don't want to wear a helmet. You don't want to do all that shit. When he goes ride, you know, he rides dirt bikes and quads. He never wears any protective gear. He'll wear a helmet, but like, he don't like to wear a helmet, like riding his crotch rocket when he used to have one. And because in Colorado, you don't have to wear a helmet. At least you didn't used to. I don't know if you do now. But yeah, he doesn't wear safety glasses, all that shit. Which is kind of stupid though, because, you know, he's one of those guys who'll never go to the doctor unless he's dying kind of dudes. I'll go to the doctor. Like, if something happens to you, I'll fucking go. I'd rather have my body saved. That's why I was pissed when I broke my hand, dude, and they waited 2 weeks to fucking take me to the hospital, dude. It's fucking bullshit. You know, and I should have, this is back before any of the activism stuff. And like, I should have fucking filed a lawsuit, dude. You guys fucked my hand up, dude. I'm in your custody and somebody picks a fight with me and I defend myself. They said I didn't get in any trouble for that fight. They said it was self-defense. That guy initiated the whole thing. So I have that on record. I could have probably sued them for a bunch. You know, it's too late now. And you know what I should have done though, actually, is if I would have played my cards right. Like, imagine if I would have got the security camera footage of that fight. That would have been cool. I have a TBI. What's that? Oh, traumatic brain injury. Oh, okay. Is that why you walk into walls? Just kidding. I got a traumatic brain injury. I had a concussion, dude. I freaking fell down the stairs at my friend's house. I was like 13 and I freaking was knocked out in the bottom of the stairs, dude. And I don't remember anything. I just remember waking up and I was like in agonizing pain. My head hurt so bad. I was like, I walked into the living room and I was like crying. I was like, oh my God, somebody help me. And they were like, oh my God, it was real. Like, they thought I was faking it, dude. They told me afterwards, like, oh, dude, you fell down the stairs and we thought you were just faking it, dude. And we were kicking you and shit. And I was like, dude, fuck you guys. I said, I was 13. I was like 12 or 13. I was in 7th grade. And anyways, my friend gave me a bowl of weed and my mom had to pick me up. I kept asking the same questions over and over. What day is it? What day is it? And my sister finally, she was like two or 3. And even she was answering, and she's like, it's Friday. And so we get done with the hospital, and then I go home, and I was so out of it from the concussion that I took my bowl of weed, and I went to the bathroom, and I just threw it on the counter and just like left it there for whatever reason. I was so out of it. And then my parents, of course, find it the next day. I got in a bunch of trouble. Okay, I'm glad you weren't offended by that, because I was like, I don't know if I should have said that. Yeah, I mean, that's why they have all that stuff. Like, that's why football now is like touch football. You can't do nothing. You know what I mean? In football anymore, because all the concussions and the dudes end up like unaliving themselves. And they get depressed and stuff like that playing football because everyone gets concussions and they're trying to work on helmet technology. So, I mean, the concussion stuff, it's a big deal. I've had, I think 2 concussions. When you see stars, I mean, I heard that means you have a concussion. So I definitely had a concussion when I got knocked the fuck out when I was 13, fell down the stairs. But then I got a concussion when I got beat up one time. I got my ass beat. And, I'm smaller. So anytime I've been in a fight, I say probably 90%, maybe more, 95% of fights end up on the ground eventually, right? And it's like a street fight, not a boxing match. And so when a guy outweighs me by 30, 40, 50 pounds, I mean, I'm fucked. As soon as it goes into grappling, it's any fight I've lost is, like people say, oh, size doesn't matter. No, yeah, it does. I mean, of course, like a small guy can beat up a big guy, like they say, oh, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Well, yeah, I mean, you could beat up a big guy. It's true. And you've seen fights where small guys, beat the shit out of a big dude. But like, dude, size does matter in a fight. That's why they have weight classes, right? Like you can just Oscar De La Hoya or Floyd Mayweather, great fighters, but you put them up in a ring against Tyson, dude. I mean, come on. Yeah, size matters. So any fight I lost is because I got pinned. I remember this fight, I got pinned on the ground, and all his body weight's on me, and I'm just fucked there. And he just boom, just hit me a whole bunch of times in the head. Dude, I remember seeing stars and shit like that. That was a fucking concussion. And went back to the house and started drinking. That was probably not a good plan. For real, most former NFL players can't even sign their own names. Really? It's that bad? I didn't know it was that bad. Okay, I didn't think you were. But, I wasn't sure. Some people get kind of touchy about stuff. Got to be able to make fun of your own stuff. You know what I mean? I make fun of my own stuff all the time. I do dumb stuff all the time on these live streams too. I say dumb stuff. I'm like, oh, what are the baby cats called? They're not puppies. What are they? Oh yeah, kittens. Duh. You know what? You can tell if you love someone. Like, because Loaf has really bad breath, but I don't mind his bad breath. Is that love? He's getting his teeth cleaned. I got to make an appointment for them to get their teeth cleaned on February 3rd, I think. And it's expensive, dude. It's like $800 for both of them. But I've never had their teeth cleaned. He's 5, she's 4. I think you're supposed to do it like every 2 years. I was looking at his teeth. He's got a bunch of plaque buildup. So I think after I get his teeth cleaned, his breath would probably be a lot better. They don't wear any protective gear. They play like the Americans did back in like the 30s. Remember when they brought out helmets, those leather helmets in American football with no face mask? And did you know that in hockey, hockey was the sport where they invented the cup, which is, the cup is what you wear around to protect your penis, to protect your balls. And they actually thought up in hockey, the cup was invented before the helmet. So you can tell, like, what men were thinking, we got to protect our balls before we protect our heads. Yes, it's love. Coco, my former dog, had pretty bad breath. I never cared. Yeah, it's like this weird thing. It's like it's to the point now where I almost like it. It's like a soothing smell because I know it. I know that smell. And it doesn't bother me. It's like, oh, that's Loaf's breath smell. No helmets, nothing. So it's like rugby. That's crazy. But here's the thing. I bet you, I have a feeling that if people don't have pads, they probably don't hit as hard. Maybe it'd be like a I don't know. I never played like that, but you would think like it would be like they'd be more hesitant. I feel like the pads make them hit harder. I just gave them a bath yesterday. They're pretty fresh right now. Oh, and they got face trimmed yesterday too. They're fresh to death right now. You gotta get back on the shoulder, Lo. You're too far down. You trying to go down? Hey, down, Dio. He's a shaker dog. I was thinking that Mr. Loaf looks quite dapper tonight, if I do say so. Thanks, dude. Yeah, he's dapper. He's a handsome devil. He's a lady killer. And he's packing, dude, from the last stream. I told you guys. He's packing, dude. And all my dogs stay intact. I don't like taking their body parts away. Like Minnie, too. I have to separate them when she's in heat. But the reason I do that is because I just don't want to, number one, non-aggression principle. I want to take their body parts away. And number two, it takes all their hormones away. And human beings, right? Like when women go into menopause and their bodies don't produce as much estrogen, they don't feel as good. So what do? They prescribe them pills to give them more estrogen. So they feel better, right? When men have a huge declining testosterone in the United States right now because of all the hormones and the plastics that we eat food out of and stuff like that, right? The fluoride in the water. Men don't feel good. So what do? They go on synthetic testosterone to make them feel better, right? But people are like, oh, they don't, doesn't change them. It doesn't change them. They're fine. That's what the vets say because, they want to make money on neuters. It's like, dude, how do you know they don't feel good? Like, do they tell you? Oh, I feel the same. No, you don't know. They might wag their tail and still be happy. Sure. A guy with extremely low testosterone doesn't mean he's never going to laugh. Right? So you don't know. They don't feel the same, dude. There's no way they don't feel the same. So that's why they keep their parts. Oh, yeah. Is that how you were? Yeah. I mean, I can imagine because I played football. I can imagine if I didn't have any fucking gear on and they didn't either, me going full speed at them like I would with pads on. You know what I mean? What position did you play, bro? What's the process of getting their teeth clean? Do they get medicated or put to sleep, or does it depend on the dog? Yeah, they have to I don't know if they sedate them. I think they straight up use what's it called? They completely knock them out, anesthesia. And so they were telling me, how old are they? And I said, 5 and 4. Like, oh, okay, good. So if they're older, 8 years old, we have to do blood work on them. So if they're not 8, then you're fine. I was like, what do you mean blood work? What's that mean? And she said, well, if it's 8 or older, they're like an elderly dog. So we have to do blood work to make sure their organ function is adequate so that they can handle the anesthesia. So if they're younger, you can do it still if you want to, but you're not required to. And I was like, no, I don't want to, because it's like $1,000 to do the blood work. So it's like $400 for the teeth cleaning and then an extra $1,000 for the blood work. So $1,400. So no, I was like, no, they're fine. But yeah, they have to put them to sleep because they're not going to stay still, especially low. Minnie actually might, but I'm actually scared, dude. I'm nervous, dude. I'm scared for Minnie for whatever reason. Look how little she is, dude. She's like an innocent, like helpless little animal. Like, I don't know. What if she can't handle the anesthesia or something? So I'm scared. That's why another reason why I don't want to get her a spay. Like, what if she dies in like the surgery or something? I don't know. But I know I have to get their teeth cleaned. I can't just never do it. Like, she's already 4, he's 5. And I actually realized I need to, because I went into their doctor to get Minnie. She's got to get a shot for her allergies. She itches a lot. And one of Loaf and Minnie's siblings, like the other lady that has a bunch of Loaf and Minnie siblings, she's got like 4 or 5 of their siblings, was in there and she works there. She said, "Hi, Christopher." And I was like, "Oh, hey, you're working here now?" And she's like, "Yeah," because she lives over there too. We live close by each other. And she's like, "Oh, how's their teeth doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I think they're fine," because I guess she has like 2 of Loaf's litter mates. And she's like, "Oh, Jesse and Chester, they've already had to have a few teeth pulled and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, shoot." So like, they're like, "Oh, it's $400 to clean their teeth. But that doesn't include extractions." So if they try to tell me that he needs extractions, I'm going to tell him no. I'm going to say, "Nah, fuck it. I don't want it," because he's not in pain. I know when my dog's in pain. Nothing's bothering him. He eats fine. So if they say he's got a cavity or something, they need an extraction, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to do it until I know that something's going on with him. Nose guard or cornerback. Okay. Yeah. So you got defense is a hitting position. You got to hit. Like, you have to hit. I mean, you have to hit on every position except for quarterback, but you know what I mean? Like, you have to initiate the contact though with playing defense. So unless you're at one of those cover corners like Deion Sanders. I mean, Deion Sanders will make some tackles, but remember, like, I've seen him like fake, like he fell down and shit so he could avoid contact. And, you know, I was kind of a pussy, dude, actually, when I played football, because I played in Little League, and then I did play in middle school too. And I played quarterback though in Little League because I guess my coach just thought I was smart. And I was really athletic. And so I was good at quarterback. And then I played some defense too, but then I just played strictly quarterback. But then when we moved and I played in middle school, and the coach didn't have a quarterback. We ran in like the 30s, like the old school, no quarterback. And they actually put me at middle linebacker because I actually stopped being a pussy and I would actually liked contact then. And I was still small. I've always been small. But I could hit, dude. It was like I had a lot of heart. So I remember I had fucked up ankles, man, because I was wearing these. I hadn't played in a while, and like I was wearing these low top cleats, and like my ankles were fucked up, and I couldn't play. Like, I was like, my ankles hurt. My coach just thought I was being a pussy. He's like, "I got guys out here playing with whatever." I don't remember what he said. But as soon as maybe that pushed me even more, because as soon as my ankles stopped hurting, I fucking turned into a monster, dude. And they're like, "Oh shit, dude, this guy can fucking hit." So they put me at middle linebacker. I never thought I'd play a position like middle linebacker, dude, because I was always like an elusive kind of runner, dude. Like, I played quarterback. I'd run the ball though too, and I'd play running back, or like, like cornerback or something. And they're like a little middle linebacker kind of dude. Google Rugby League, big hits, and tell me what you think, bro. Oh, dude, yeah. I know, man. That's true. Yeah, they get rowdy about it. That's for sure. Rugby ain't no joke, man. It's crazy. Like, I don't really understand all the rules of rugby, but just by watching it, it's kind of like just a bunch of laterals, right? Like, like the last play, it's either score a touchdown or we lose the whole game. It's like that in rugby. Seems fun. I don't know if I can even say this. I was going to say it anyways, but because it's not politically correct nowadays. But when we were kids, we used to play Smear the Queer. You remember that? Or like whoever had the ball was the queer, and you'd just smear him. You have to it was like everyone against him, and just like a bunch of running crazy, and you tackle him. As soon as he tackled him, then you throw the ball and someone else pick it up. And then remember we play 500. You throw the ball, it'd be like 200. You throw it up, and then whoever caught it got 200. But the first person they got to 500 got to be the thrower. Or then you could say 500 would be full 500, or you could say jackpot, and that would be 500. Damn, dude, it's already almost 1. I got to go, guys. I got to get to sleep. I had a good time, though, talking with you guys, 3.5 hours. So thanks for coming in, everyone. Have a great night. Peace.